Yes.
What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris
And more.
podcast episode 200. We are here, people. The 200th episode. We finally made it here. Appreciate y'all rocking with us today, man. We got a few special guests on today. We're gonna be talking through these topics with, man, and they're gonna give us their opinions, and we should have a good time, man. So, before I get into the topics, go ahead and say what's up to everybody. D Mac, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? Happy to be here. Happy to be here, Chris. Happy to be here, Mal. Awesome that you guys invited me on for the 200th episode. I feel very special. I appreciate that a lot, guys. It
No
means a
problem.
lot. So, yeah, happy to be here, man.
For sure. And of course, our brothers, Barbershop Talk, podcast, Trey, Maestro. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's poppin', man? Appreciate you guys inviting us on your special occasion 200 episode. Congrats.
Oh, no problem.
Nah, for sure, man. Here to do my quick one, too. Celebrate, support the homies, man. Congrats on y'all 200, man.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Love.
And of course, Maul, how you doing, man? How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Blessed to have these brothers, man, join us on this special day, man. We worked hard to get to this 200th mark, man. So, what better way to, man, celebrate it with the brothers we have here on the show, man. We're gonna have a good time, man. Talk about some topics, man, and I'm ready to get this thing popping.
Yeah, Show and Ebony should be popping in. We'll see, though. Maul, you know how those two are. So,
Hey, yeah, man. Showing that, love. They'll be on when they be on. So,
might be at the end, but
yeah.
all right, man. Let's recap college football real quick, man, because there was some big games this past week. Starting off with Florida State and Virginia. Florida State, they've been, doing their thing this year, and they ran into a little bit of a roadblock with Virginia, man. They was in Virginia, and Virginia was, it was a back and forth. It went to double overtime, and it ended on a, crazy down well, like close to the end zone because it was in overtime. But of course, Juice Robinson, he had a chance to catch a touchdown to tie it up. He ended up dropping the pass. Some say it's controversial. I thought he dropped it. I didn't think he had possession of it. And Florida State ended up falling to Virginia 46-38. D-Mac, how are you feeling about this game, man?
Oh, boy, that was something. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I was out for most of the game. And so I came back and I saw FSU was down and was able to watch, the back end of it. It was a tough matchup. Look, Virginia does have one of the better home field advantages, in my opinion. Probably one of the more underrated home field advantages from that aspect of it. But I thought FSU was just going to come out with a better defensive effort. And I don't think that they showed that. But got to give a lot of credit for what they were able to do. I thought Castellanos actually fought pretty hard for FSU ultimately to try and get that game to get them a win. But Virginia had a little bit more, and I'll tell you what, that is one of the all time field rushes you will ever see. I don't. All them boys was on the hill, and the second that guy went down with that ball and interception, they were on him. And I don't know. I'm so glad that none of them got hurt. It sounds like, thank God.
Yeah.
But my goodness, it was like a starting gun went off and a cross country race just begun. It was insane, that field rush. So. There was incredible atmosphere, maybe a little bit dangerous, but that sometimes it's what college is about, in my opinion. So, but no, that was a fun game to watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Trey, Maestro, did you catch the game, and how'd you feel about it?
So I'll go first, Maestro. So my Saturdays mostly consist of being out with the kids and all that stuff and running errands. So I did not watch this game, but I did see some highlights. And I think for me, and BMAX said it, I just hope homeboy, the wide receiver that dropped that pass, is okay. Because
Yeah.
like you said, the moment he dropped it was when they started storming the field, and you didn't see homeboy like after that. I just hope he survived that stampede, because that would have been brutal if he'd have got seriously hurt.
Yeah, look, and I'm going right behind what Trey said. No homo. Like, hey, that's dangerous, man. And I don't pretend to be super football. Like Saturdays are normally reserved in the same kind of situation. My kids
For
don't
sure.
play that on Saturday because I fight with them on Sundays. Um, but to be honest, yeah, like that's crazy, man. It, it bothers me. It bothers me that I get it. Tradition, college football, it's been that way forever. But I'm starting to feel like something got to be done, man. Something got to be done.
Yeah, it's something, what I'm saying? Maybe they need to stop doing it in the student section.
Yeah, cause somebody could really get hurt one day,
Yeah.
man. And I mean, it's you cross the bridge when you get there type of thing, but damn, like geez Louise, like that somebody could really get hurt, man. And I guess we living under this guise that it hasn't happened yet, so let tradition be tradition, but that always concerns me.
And
Yeah.
wasn't this the same game where dude climbed up on the goalpost and fell? Is that the same game?
I missed that one.
I haven't heard about that one.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, I
Mm.
saw a highlight of dude was walking across the goalpost and he fell off.
Dang.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised,
them,
doggone.
Dudes is wild, man.
Yeah, yeah.
kids are
Yeah.
crazy, man. Like, and I can say kids at his age because I did not I don't have a biological child, but I certainly have kids through marriage or prior marriage, let me say, that are in college. And so I'm confident in calling them kids nowadays.
Right.
But yeah, that's too much. That's
They
just too
wild.
much, man.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, like as far as like the game, man, I thought it was just a simple fact that I think Florida State just kind of overlooked this game. You know what I mean? They got a big game coming up this week against the Miami Hurricanes. We all see what kind of team they got. Uh Castellanos, man, I think he's a solid quarterback, but Virginia came to play. I just think it was mainly an oversight. I think Florida State is just better than what we saw. As far as like the rest in the field, I don't know what they can do. They already try to find the college 500 grand, I think, or something like that. I don't think that's enough.
Mm.
I do love the tradition of it, though. I just think there's better ways to play it safe. Like, make sure you get the teams off and then allow the crowd to storm the field to do something. If you got to pay for extra security or something like that, yeah, do that. I think the layout with the Virginia Stadium just makes it a little bit easier for those kids to run off because they're literally like sitting on the field. So, and
Yeah.
then we saw with
Yeah.
those last 40 seconds, man, all those little white kids was ready to storm that thing. I saw them flipping off Castellanos and all that type of stuff. Like that's cool if you want to run on, but don't be mad when somebody want to sock you in your mouth because you out there acting all reckless and stuff like that. And these young gentlemen got to protect themselves trying to get off this field. So there's better ways to handle it. I don't know what they can do. I don't know if they're going to stop that. Like, there's no way to ban it because these kids are always going to try to do some crazy stuff anyway. But yeah, I just think it was mainly an oversight for Florida State, man. They got a big, huge game coming up. I think they play at home too to Miami. So I think that should still be a good game. I won't be surprised if maybe Florida State pulled that off this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. We had number 6 Oregon playing number 3 Penn State. Now we all know the stick on James Franklin. He can't win the big game against the big team. And he showed again. Now I don't blame all on James Franklin because your quarterback can't stare down the damn receiver to throw the football. And that's what Drew Aller did. Stared the damn receiver down, threw a pick to end the game in overtime, and Penn State lost again to Oregon. So, D-Mac, did you watch the game and how you feel about it, man?
Yeah, this was a game that I was tuned in to kind of watch the quarterback specifically. Obviously, Moore is a little bit, or I should say, Dante is a little bit more of a 2027 prospect. People trying to start the 2026 thing. I think he should stay another year, continue to develop as far as that's concerned. But obviously, Drew Aller, he hadn't really been tested for the first few games of the Penn State season, and ultimately, this was the first big test. And I thought that he was shaky to begin, to say the least. You saw some of the positives and the talent that flashed, but ultimately, when you're talking about Drew from last year, you saw the talent that flashed. Now it was about, can you bring consistency in this year when you're trying to be a first-round draft pick? And I don't think he did enough of it, in my opinion, to really impress me. Obviously, ultimately, Oregon comes in. I think they're a more talented team, and they showed that certainly I was impressed in which they were able to go in there and get the win. And they are going to be one of the most talked about teams as far as, challenger for the college football championship for good reason, in my opinion. So good win by Oregon. And, Penn State is still Penn State under James Franklin.
Hmm.
Do you think that his seat is hot, D-Mac?
No, it's Penn State. But Monty Jones has a great thing where he talks about college football is not a zero-sum game, and everybody's expectations are always relative to the school that they're at. Yes, Penn State once upon a time was a national powerhouse that won championships. They have not been that in a very long time. James Franklin continuing to have top 10 teams and great recruiting classes and being in a college football playoff. Those are things that will keep him fine at Penn State. He's not at Alabama. He's not Kalen DeBoer. So he'll be fine at Penn State for a long time to come as long as he maintains that standard.
Sure.
Can I ask why y'all feel like it's that way in college football?
Like what?
Too many teams. It's too many teams to expect guys to consistently win championships. It's too spread out of talent.
Mm-hmm.
18-year-olds are unreliable. There's a bunch of different reasons, but that's
but
why
it has to get to the point though when you're representing I get it. Penn State isn't looked at as like this, Alabama or this Oregon or this Ohio State, but they're consistently winning. It gets to a point where when you have the number one class, you better start producing. It's kind of like the same situation Dabo Swinney's in. You need to start winning, and I get it. Maybe the grass isn't greener in a sense, because like what coach could you find that could put up, what he has done as far as like a consistent level of putting a winning program in. But it gets to a point where if you can't beat Ohio State, you can't win these big games, then what are you here for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we're here to win chips. We're paying all this money, especially with NIL being involved. Now we're investing all this money now. Nah, you got to start producing. We got to start getting these wins. If not, we'll pay for somebody, same contract, and try to find somebody and steal somebody from one of these colleges that can do that. If we got to steal homie from Oregon, if we got to try to steal somebody from, Tennessee or whoever the case may be, who's this new popping head coach, man, you got to produce, man. And that's been kind of the same situation with Franklin every year. He can never win the big game. He has all the talent in the world, and they end up choking at the end, whether it's at home, on the road, in a neutral site. It never goes well for him. So I think he needs to find a way to start winning these games. And this is the team for him to do it. Like you have Drew Aller. I get it. He hasn't performed to this expectation of him being a number one first round pick. There's a lot of quarterbacks right now that profess to be these top picks and have not produced. But my God, you're running. You probably have one of the best running games. Your receivers ain't that bad. Your defense is always elite. Why can't you win these games? Especially at home. At home, whiteout. This is supposed to be as you quote unquote said, the best environment in the world, and you can't even win that. Like, what are we doing, man? The biggest story of the whole night was pretty much Oregon and the Oregon mascot. That's all I saw about. I ain't hear one thing about Penn State at all.
Yeah, and them phone pauses they put out.
Oh, me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that kind of bugs me, man. That kind of bugs me because as more money is starting to get dumped into like this, like it's like my man said with the NIL situation, like money is becoming a prevalent thing, and with money, like people want to see results, product with their money, man. So it's just like, yeah, like okay, Penn State is not that marquee quote unquote program no more. But if you getting wins and and money getting put around in that program, I think it does start to come to a point where we want to see, product results rather.
Yeah, they're turning into NFL. These are NFL teams now. You're paying these players.
Exactly.
So we're gonna start treating you like NFL head coaches. If you guys don't produce in 2-3 years,
That's
we'll
right.
find somebody else. And besides, a lot of these coaches need to go because a lot of them are old and played out and need to get some new blood in here anyway.
Like Dabo Sweeney.
And I think Dabo is an outdated guy in that real sense. I don't get the sense that people view James Franklin as that, and I think that is a significant difference between their situations. But hey, if they feel like they need to be the Penn State of the 80s, then yeah, James Franklin should feel like he's on the hot seat, but we'll see.
I just want to thank James Franklin for both. I thank you, sir.
I'm thinking every single day that they chose the wrong Penn State quarterback to keep because we are happy with Bo. I'll tell you that right now. Absolutely.
Thank you for Bo.
Thank you for Bo. Absolutely.
What else? I'm trying to think. Oh, LSU and Ole Miss.
Yes.
Got upset by Ole Miss. I don't know if you want to call it the upset, but LSU has high expectations. But
Right.
your man Brian Kelly, he has the same problem as James Franklin to me. It's ever since, even in Notre Dame, he couldn't win the big one. So,
Yeah.
and once again, he goes against an Ole Miss team who's been giving up points left and right. Like I've seen a few of their games, and their games have been in the 30s, and 40s, and LSU couldn't do nothing. So, D Mac, did you watch this game? How you feel about this game?
Actually, I missed this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. LSU and Ole Miss. I think again we talk about some of the quarterbacks that were supposed to be coming in hype, like Nussmeier. When I went back and watched it, I didn't love it. What I was able to see on tape either. So I don't know. It's just. Am I going to believe in Lane Kiffin? No, I'm not going to believe that Ole Miss all of a sudden. I think they put him. What they put him at top 6 or top 5, and
they're ranked number 4.
Yeah, no,
That ain't
they're not that
week.
good.
Yeah.
I don't believe in them as that level of team. Shout out to them for getting the upset. SEC football really is going to continue to be about these guys cannibalizing each other every single week. So there's just going to be another notch as far as that's concerned. LSU still has a really good roster. Obviously, Whit Weeks had some issues as far as it looks like he was maybe sick throughout the game, which given some things leading up to the game is funny. But it's an interesting game. But no, I this wasn't anything that was crazy on my radar because I don't think Ole Miss is nearly as good as that ranking right now would say they are.
For sure. And you had Alabama going against Georgia. Bama pulled it out 24-21. Kellen DeBoer can keep his job for one more week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he can. Yeah. Only one more week, though. Only one more. Because I tell you what, Vandy coming, baby. Vandy is coming.
Oh, yeah. So, they keep it one more week. They beat Georgia, so he gets good credit for 1 week because we know how they are in Tuscaloosa. They don't play about the Alabama football team. So, I'm going to go with you, Trey. How you feel about this, man?
Well, huge win for Alabama. If my memory serves correctly, they were down pretty big in this game. And your boy, the quarterback, Simpson, turned out to have a pretty good game with a couple touchdown passes. But whenever these two teams play, it's always going to be like close, no matter if one team is down by a couple scores or vice versa. I mean, these matchups are always like top tier, SEC type matchups. So, I mean, nothing new here. Both teams are ranked in the top 25 as it stands now. So, they're gonna be there right in the end when it's all said and done.
What you got, D-Mac?
Hilarious. Just very funny. All things considered. I'll get into the game in a little bit, but you got to say it. Kirby Smart is owned by Alabama. It's just a reality situation. You can say, hey, you went on the road last year, Kalen DeBoer, crazy game back and forth. Tip your cap, say, they got you. You can't say that. This is a game you should have won. It's just inexcusable that you didn't. And ultimately, this is going to continue to be a thorn in his side, even though he has built the powerhouse of Georgia that he has built. It's going to be a thorn in his side. And it's always, every single time they match up with Bama, it's like, hey, these guys own you. And that's something that he's going to have to continue to fight against for, until he beats them, to be honest with you. So it's hilarious that this is the way it went. But I was underwhelmed with the Georgia defense. Their front seven, in my opinion, isn't as dominant as you would expect a Georgia front seven to be. Their second level was slow when I was watching the game, just watching it back as well. I will say Alabama, Ty Simpson did impress me from the quarterback position. He was making some really consistent throws that I had not expected to see. And so got to tip your cap to them. And look, hey, like you said, Kalen DeBoer keeps his job for just one more week because that hot seat will fire right back up if he loses to Vandy.
Didn't they lose to Vanderbilt last year?
They did lose to Vanderbilt last year.
If you go on a 2-game losing streak to Vanderbilt, you right back on the hot streak.
I totally agree. I low key think real quick on this game. I just think it was a big game, but it really amounts to nothing because the NCAA will find a way to get both of these teams into the
Both of them,
playoff anyway. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I agree with D-Mac. I was truly impressed with. I called Alabama to beat Georgia. I just think they match up really well against Georgia. I think they have the better athletes. I think they have the better quarterback. I was impressed with Alabama. I think Alabama is a legit title contender. We will see when they play Vanderbilt. We all see what Vandy's doing right now. They're looking really impressive. That's going to be a must-watch game on Saturday. But overall, man, this really amounts to nothing because at the end of the day, both of these teams are going to find their way in the playoffs.
100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's 100% correct. It's like it's hard for me to find a whole bunch of vigor to watch the game because it's like, win or lose. I mean, we know it's the kind of like the marquee game and the game that people want to see for at least the casual of college football watchers. But it's like at the end of the day, we know Georgia's Georgia and Alabama's Alabama. At the end of the day, they finna be there.
Yeah, 3 teams that will always get automatics for the next 10 years: Ohio State, Bama, and Georgia.
In Georgia, facts.
Yep.
Facts.
Everybody else is gonna have to fight for it.
No matter who they lose to.
No matter, they will find a way. They will find a way. And Texas, as long as Manning's on that team, Texas as well. They will find a way to get Texas on that team as well, in the playoff as well. Money's money, man. Money talks, bro.
Money talks. Bullshit. What?
Money talks,
It's
man.
business,
You know what I mean?
business.
Low key. Do y'all think the college football playoffs should expand or no? Keep it the way.
No, please God.
I mean,
Nah,
I
we
think they
can't.
should have went to 12.
don't need more
to be honest
teams.
with you.
Yeah.
I
They're talking about it. They want
know.
to
Yeah,
add
they
more
are.
teams to this thing.
They don't need to. 12 is fine. I actually don't have an issue with it being 12, and I'm fine with it being a playoff system as well. I don't have an issue with either one of those two. But no, you do not need more teams in this. There are not. We don't need to see 16 college football teams in a tournament. They're just
Right.
no. We're good.
12's enough.
We're good. We think 12 is plenty.
Yeah,
It's enough for the little school to get in. You know what I mean?
they don't want the little.
And it's
school to
enough
get
for
in.
there's enough for the big schools. They have their kind of their input as well to say, hey, we got our teams in. You get your 1 or 2 little schools in. Cool. Go ahead, Cinderella story, whatever.
Right.
The tournament. You don't
At least we finally got Boise State in there last year.
Yeah.
We saw how that went.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Saw how that went.
Yep.
Jedi couldn't do it alone.
Chris, I will declare while we're here in 2 weeks, Mizzou will be Bama at home.
I agree with that.
Ooh, okay.
Amar Hardy, best running back in.
Where they play at Mizzou, or are they play in Bama?
At Mizzou.
At Mizzou, yeah.
I think that we have a better front seven than Georgia, that it will be better equipped to deal with their athletes, and I think that we will be able to run the ball on them.
Yeah, Hardy and Roberts. They ain't stopping that.
Yeah, I love y'all running backs. Y'all running backs are nasty. They are nasty.
All right, man. Let's switch sports, man. Let's go to the ladies real quick. WNBA, man. The semifinals is here, y'all. It's been getting a little touchy right now, especially with Phoenix. And now Phoenix closed it out yesterday, but it was a little rough. You know what I'm saying? Women was going back and forth. Nafisha got hurt. And, it was controversy on did Elisa Thomas, did she foul her? Was it a steal? And then, the chirping back and forth. But ultimately, shout out to the Mercury. They made it to the finals. Whereas in our aces, my aces, me and Maul's aces, they lost yesterday. You know what I'm saying? They got to try to close it out. I think it's tomorrow. And try to survive to get to the finals. So I don't know if you guys watch WNBA. I know Mac does, but I don't know if Trey and Maestro watch.
Oh,
WNBA.
I'm all the way in, bro. I'm all the way in.
Okay.
I'm all the way in. This is actually the topic I was waiting for.
Okay.
All right. Go for it, my brother.
He loved his pandering shit he do. That he loved that shit.
Go ahead, Trey.
Prayers to Nafisa Collier. That looked nasty. On the no call, which I looked at it a few times. She didn't foul her. It was just an unfortunate, play right there. I tell you what though, Coach Cheryl Reeve, she a real one. I'll tell you that, because I've watched sports my whole life. I don't think I've ever seen anybody undress the referees the way she undressed them in the post game presser after the game. For a little bit of context, she had two technical fouls, so that's automatic, toss out the game. I mean, she went on the court and she was about to, shoot the fair one with the ref, and it took them like 5 minutes to get her off the floor. And then it's like a fan had touched her on her way out, which I'm not for. Keep your hands to yourself, that kind of a thing. And then she got to the presser and really went right to the point and said, "Hey, yo, there needs to be some new leadership at the top of this referee organization." I mean, called it all types of names and everything, and they was right. They were right to suspend her for game 4. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you call the refs out like that, and rightfully so on her part. But the league did what they had to do. I think the punishment matched the crime and what she did in that presser. And at that point, you just kind of knew, okay, this is Phoenix's series at this point. So, but I got a question for y'all. You think the fix is in to get the Fever in the finals?
The fix?
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I would say it would be
Yeah.
more of a situation if Caitlin Clark was playing and stuff
Right,
like that.
exactly.
Because
Exactly.
that's their media. But nah, I just think it was sloppy play by the Aces. I think Chelsea, she didn't come to play. I think Jackie had her mistakes. I've been telling Cris, Kyle Kuzma needs to get off my fucking
I'm
team.
calling that girl that, man.
She got to get out of here, man. For real, she got to go, bro.
Stop calling that girl that.
I'm being dead ass, man. She doesn't do anything on that court at all, bro. She'll hit you a 3 here and there, but besides that, she hustling for no reason. She just getting cardio, my personal opinion. But now I want to get back to this Lynx and Mercury thing real quick, because I think the situation with that and the coach, I think the coach looked crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what she says. She may have been correct on as far as the refereeing, but the referee been like this for years now. And the only reason why you getting upset is because your team got out tough. Lisa Thomas punked Nafisa Collier, and I'm a big Nafisa Collier fan. Lisa Thomas punked the hell out of that team.
Facts.
And they didn't come ready. They had the lead. They had like a 20-point lead in one of the games. Lost that. They got punked. Yeah. They got punked in Phoenix. I'm tired of this Karen feel I get with these new fans that don't know nothing about basketball, crying about Elisa Thomas fouling and running through. Nah, that was a clean steal, and God bless her. I hope Nafisa will be fine. I think she'll be fine. I don't know if she had any fractures or anything like that. I just think it was a bad sprain, and that's another thing. The coach tried to, she got a fracture. You don't even know. You putting that out in the media. You trying to make everybody think like this girl broke her leg. Like, come on, man. That she looked insane. And then on top of that, I'm not mad at one of them fans touched her, because you know why? Don't come screaming in my face, fuck you, and don't expect nothing to go. I'm just sitting here being a fan, cheering that you acting crazy, and then you want to scream fuck me in my word? That's what we doing? Come on, man. She looked insane. She deserved to get suspended. The Lynx deserved to lose that series because they got punked majority of that series. They lost a great season. Unfortunately, they had some injuries they had to deal with, but this was supposed to be their year. I expected them to win this championship. I didn't expect my Aces to win the championship. Even if my Aces got there, I expected the Aces and the Lynx, and I expected the Lynx to probably win, because coming off what they should have won, because I thought the Liberty got some favorable calls, especially towards the end of that last game 7.
They did. They did.
At the end of the day, the Lynx choked this season away. They wasted a whole season for no reason, because they didn't have the heart, they didn't have the toughness. I don't want to see any of these girls cry. They need to look in the mirror, find their toughness, and win a chip, because there's no reason why this team shouldn't be in the finals currently right now.
Which sucks for my Liberty, because had the Liberty handled their business against Phoenix, we'd probably be right in the finals.
Y'all had a lot of injuries, though. I don't understand why y'all fired y'all head coach. I don't get
she wasn't good.
That was
she wasn't good.
Shit.
You just
why you think she wasn't good though?
Nah. She just won the chip. She just won the chip, man.
It was terrible rotations, in my personal opinion. I don't think that she's ever been, drawn up an amazing out of timeout play. I have my issues with Sandy personally, even though I think we won the chip despite her, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But
you're not the only one that feels that way, by the way. I've heard plenty of people talk about her rotations and her defensive schemes and things like that. But for me, when you help bring home the first championship in Liberty history, I mean, you have to buy some time with that. Like, I think you deserve some grace a year after you win the chip.
Who do you get? Like, who's going to be the coach? Like, what have you heard?
So
like,
here's what I propose, and this is just the fan in me talking. Teresa Weatherspoon.
We said that.
I said the same thing.
Hire Teresa
I said the same
Weatherspoon
thing.
and find a way to trade for Angel Reese. That's what I'm proposing.
God damn, you want the fucking
Who you getting rid of though for Angel Reese?
I'll put Jonquel Jones in the package. Yeah.
Damn,
Sheesh.
huh?
I said it. And she was great in the finals last year. Like,
Yeah.
Probably the key. She
props
was
to
probably the
her.
key.
But she didn't look the same when she came back. I don't know if that's something that can be rectified over the course of an offseason, et cetera, et cetera. I have no idea from that perspective.
Right.
The Pacers have a really good assistant coach on their bench, learning on the Carlisle. That she also has WNBA head coach experience. I would be fine with her. But if it's Teaspoon, I would also be happy because I thought that she can get nearly a fair shake as far as what Chicago was presented last year. And honestly, I think she tried to instill a defensive presence and culture in that locker room that I thought did work for them at times last year. And they had none of that this year. There was a complete mess. And I think you saw by the end of it some of the things that came out of that locker room accordingly. So if it was Teaspoon, I'd be fine. And specifically this year, I don't think we lost because of Sandy. I will be clear about that. Jonquel didn't show up. I don't think that Sabrina had a really good fourth quarter, particularly against the Phoenix Mercury. And I think the Mercury are a really good team, in my opinion. But I agree with Trey. Like it sucks. I thought we had everything still in front of us because even the injuries, we were still there and healthy by the time it needed to be, for playoff time. And we weren't able to pull through. And I thought that we had a chance to really do something special by going back to back. And unfortunately, we're going to have to put it on pause and see how we can retool and get things together moving forward. But yeah, no, as far as the whole, as it currently stands, shout out to the Mercury, man. I think you guys put it pointedly. They were able to punk the Lynx. And a lot of times the Lynx, they play this great style of basketball. They felt like they could kind of flip a switch and turn it on and really start to get an avalanche aspect of it. They're not a championship team to just say, hey, we can flip a switch and just beat a good team on the other side. I never really felt that way about them. I thought it was a clean steal. Specifically, she was able to poke the ball out and clean, and it was unfortunate that there was contact afterwards, but that's not necessarily how you referee the game. WNBA refs are bad, though. That is something that is true across the board.
Yeah.
There's no ways about that.
All refs are bad. I don't care they're all terrible
in every sport.
So that's my problem. And my fault, fam. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's my problem, right? So like and I'm not super WNBA watcher at all, but I mean, just in my timeline and what I seen, I mean, we all agree that the refs suck. Why can't there be a level of accountability when coaches call referees out?
No, there needs to be a level of accountability. I think refs should be demoted. I think refs should be fired for some of these egregious calls. We see it through the NBA. We see it through the NFL. We see it through the WNBA. I get it. I just think with her situation, I get maybe the referees were as great as they should have been, but I think that was more of just a toughness thing with the Lynx. I don't think it had anything to do with the refs. I think the Lynx just folded. You know what I mean? I think she used that as just a weak excuse to, berate and do all this type of stuff, because at the end of the day, the play was clean. That was not the ref's fault. The referees made the correct call on that play. And that was the clinching shot. So I just think she used that as a weak excuse, and I don't think that was the appropriate time to go at the refs at all. I think there was a situation with the Aces in the game yesterday. I think the Aces have more of a complaint than what the Lynx had in that game. Me personally, that's just me personally.
Yeah, Maestro, I agree with you, Maestro. I think like the NBA, the WNBA needs to import some kind of 2-minute report at the end of these games with some more.
Does that work though, or does that just piss you off? Like that don't.
Well, yeah, it pisses you off for sure.
Because
it does.
Sorry to cut you off, Trey. But I gotta say this. I watched that Lakers Celtics game when LeBron James got murdered. I saw all them phantom calls that Anthony Davis got. Pat Bev's trying to show the camera to the refs. Like, And that did nothing but just piss me off. And I hate the 2-minute report. They got to get rid of that. Like, that doesn't do any accountability. It just pisses off fans because it's like, oh, we all saw that you got the call wrong, but yeah, you're going to throw this report in my face a day later. That means nothing to me, and that can change the outcome of this game. You need to hold these referees accountable. I'll be more happy if you suspended these refs. Suspend them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Suspend them, hold them accountable. If they got to lose game checks, then so be it. I get, they make 300, 400K. I don't know how much they make around there or whatever, but that will show them like, yo, let me make sure I get these right. Make sure I don't mess up these calls, because these games can literally be whether you win a series, whether you don't win a series, whether you make the playoffs, don't make the playoffs, whether you win the job, lose the job. Like, there's a big effect to that. And the only people that don't get affected are these referees, not by the pocketbooks, not by nothing. But you show me this 2-minute report, all it does is just make fans want to tweet them and send death threats, and obviously that doesn't work either. So like,
I could understand that though. I could understand that though. I think in a situation like this where it's playoffs, it's high stakes, I think, and they were wrong to bring back that crew for Game 4. Aces and Fever, they were wrong for doing that. They needed to kind of dismiss them and just say, hey, cool, but there's just too much noise around you. We'll save you for the next regular season. Like, we don't want you back for the rest of the playoffs.
I think it's deeper though, because we all know the affiliation that the WNBA has with the NBA and how much the NBA has invested into this league. And that's been some of my problems with Adam Silver and how he's ran the NBA. I know we're going to get into NBA. I know we're going to talk some topics. I got some topics on that, but that's just another thing to look at. But I do want to ask y'all questions before we get off WNBA. I want to get your guys' thoughts on the whole Angel Reese situation. I'm sure you guys saw the whole situation where she called out her teammates and all that. Now it seems like she's on trade rumors and all that type of stuff. What were your guys' thoughts on the whole Angel Reese situation?
So my thing is that she was right. Everything she said was right, but I think she still has to learn PR protocol. There's certain things you can say in the public. There's certain things that you just got to keep to yourself. And
so is she right?
I think she's right in what she said. She wasn't right in expressing it to the public. I think
she was correct in her assessment, but she shouldn't have said it still.
Right, exactly, exactly. So I just think that she just needs to touch up on her PR, protocols and things like that. But for me, I would just, if I had to tell Angel something, I'd be like, look, get your ass out of Chicago. Because they really not trying to build a team around you. They dysfunctional. They are, according to people that I talk to that cover the W, they are like the dysfunctional franchise in the league.
Yeah.
Yo, get up out of there.
They're the worst organization that have a reputation that is in the tank as far as the front office. Candace Parker, when she won the title, was basically like a life raft for them to be able to do so.
Right.
I think that she was correct in her assessment. Yes, the coaching was terrible. Yes, they need to remake their roster. They made terrible decisions. The Errol Atkins trade was an awful decision. You see how much Washington is benefiting from it. It was a lot of bad transactions that happened to lead to the roster that they had this upcoming season. And I'm sure a lot of that frustration ended up, boiling over that led to what happened there. But you can't do that. And Angel Reese, I do think, is an incredibly talented player, and I think is a player that will continue to develop into one of the W's best. But you don't even have the pelts on the wall to be able to say, I'm calling out my entire organization in the public during that article. You can't do that, especially not. To add on the fact that it's the end of the season while you're still in season, and it just added on to something that this team needed to fade into obscurity and miss the playoffs and not be talked about. And you made it an entirely different thing at the end of the season. So a bad move. And I think she realized it was a bad move, a learned lesson from that standpoint, but she was wrong. I don't believe so. And I do think that she needs to get out of Chicago.
Yeah. I agree
and to add to it, I would think that they would be trying to get her up out of Chicago. Cause what, you gonna go back into the locker room with these ladies and like you ain't just say what you said, or is there gonna be some type of reconciliation, or how this already a messy organization? And Shorty done said what she said. Now it's like, look, I'm not in that locker room, but I know if I was in that locker room and I had to go look at, like, you definitely getting at bare minimum the side eye from
Mm-hmm.
me. Like would you don't yeah, anybody that she spoke about, like, nah, I'm looking at you crazy now because you our leader or you are, our primary player. And I got nah, I think they need to be not only she need to get up out of there, but they need to be getting her up out
Yeah.
of there.
Yeah, she should have did that. If she wanted to talk about her teammates like that, that should have been one of those. Hey, we gotta talk in the locker room behind closed doors.
Closed
Yeah,
meeting
this should have
conversations.
been
Yeah.
behind closed doors. Me and Maul talked about that, and that's what I said. I said, you don't say that in an article. Like, what are you doing, girl? Like, you don't talk about your teammates in the article. Now you really look bad. You know what I'm saying? And
And then it kind of goes to
that's
her
what I'm
whole kind
saying.
of persona, right? Like, and this ain't no shady thing. Like, she is a
Mhm.
media darling. So it's just like it's just, for no better way to say it, messy female shit. And it's like, Shawty, you ain't got to
Mhm.
do that. You know what I'm saying? It kind of digs into the narrative of, catty women. And I hate, I ain't trying to make this no sexist thing, but I mean, I see what I see with my two eyes. Like, that's some messy shit. I ain't saying if a dude do it, it ain't messy neither. I'm just saying that, the WNBA has enough hurdles to deal with your messiness in an article. That's like that's not something that men would stamp, and so I don't think that's that as a person you should
Yeah,
stamp
no,
that.
I agree. Like, it doesn't help her perception, especially with other fan bases. You know what I mean? She already has like this kind of perception. We see it all the time and how people talk about her. And you know what I mean? It doesn't really help the
Yeah,
situation. But,
Yeah.
live and learn, man. She's still young. She'll be all right.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But get her out of
Yeah.
Chicago.
Get
I
into
got
the
one more.
Liberty.
I got one more question for y'all. Do you think the W want the Fever to make the finals without Caitlin Clark on the court?
I think they do.
What?
Hell
And
They
no.
do. They do.
Without
Because
her?
they still got that fan base. So they still got that fan base supporting her. They still got that fan base.
yeah,
They still want them to. I'm not saying it's rigged, but I do think they want them to for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah,
Not
no,
on
they
a,
they,
not
they want them
not
to.
on a rig standpoint,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
on a
not
stock on a Caitlin Clark stock standpoint.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think
Yeah,
you
that
know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying?
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because even if they lose, the entire conversation the rest of the time is, oh my god, they went to the finals without Caitlin Clark. Imagine what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Imagine
they
if she
definitely want
goes.
that to happen.
Hmm.
Yeah. The
But
real
I'm also seeing people saying that they're still watching the Fever because of Caitlyn, even though she's in street clothes,
Oh yeah,
which
absolutely.
which is crazy to me because I mean
well,
I'm trying to watch women play. I ain't trying to watch you on the sideline, but that's
Yeah, she don't
casual
dress that
behavior.
She
nice.
don't dress that
let's be real. That whole perception that Caitlin Clark is the WNBA is false. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
They're still breaking records. There's people are still going to these games. They're going to
Yep.
games that Caitlin Clark isn't there. Like,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I just think the WNBA is in a great spot. I think there's a lot of great faces for the league. Asia Wilson's, your Caitlin Clarks, your Paige Beckers, like your Breonna Stewart, Sabrina's, Juju's when she come, and all these young ladies that are coming out from college, man. Like, they have way more faces that are recognizable to the American public than the NBA does. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there are faces we recognize that that we grow accustomed to, but we don't build relations with them because they're either European, they're either from Canada, or I mean, we don't have those American homegrown college players that we know their story, we know their background, we grow up with them through their college experiences, and these ladies have that, something that the
Yep.
NBA is missing, to a degree. You know what I mean? I don't think they get affected
Hmm.
by the AAU circuit as much. Like, I know the women still go through the AAU stuff like that, but you have these ladies who are staying in college for 4 years, unlike these NBA players who will either go to the G League or do one and done stuff like that.
And the league got it right with putting the Valkyries in Golden State. You get the sellouts of all these games. You're in a basketball, hotbed area there. They were very smart with putting the team there in Golden State.
Oh yeah, they got all the great markets. They got Golden State, they got Seattle. I think the Dream. I think that's an up and coming great team over there. The Mystics. I like the youth that they have over there. Like the Dallas Wings. Like, we know they're going to
Hmm.
get better with Paige. They're going to add more talent. There's going to be more talent that is getting injected into this league from
Yep.
college and all that. Like, me and Chris talked about the young lady in Seattle. Was she like almost 7 foot tall? Yeah, she gonna be the truth. She was giving Asia some problems, you know what I mean? But she's just young, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but we all know, I've been saying it, Asia is the league I think Asia should be the face of this league, and I get it. Caitlin Clark is this kind of like worldwide phenomenon, kind of like I guess attention athlete. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of her. I'm not, because I think there are a lot of women who do exactly what she does. Me personally, I personally think the Fever play better without her, i.e. Kelsey Mitchell has been the best player on that team for a very long time. And then we'll see when Caitlin Clark comes back, they're going to be in the same bullshit where they're struggling and she's holding on the ball and she's cussing out referees, getting texts and losing games.
I love how progressively distraught Cris got as well.
He knew where I was going. He knew where I was. I tried. Hey, I apologize. I tried not to say anything.
That was great. I enjoyed that.
Because it was a segment all last year of Caitlin Clark this and Caitlin Clark that.
I completely agree with you, Bob. I think W is in a great spot. Caitlin is one piece of this.
Yes.
I would prefer if it didn't come with the weird stuff. That's just me. I don't need the whole racial stuff. Like I'm good on it. Leave it out. This isn't what I watch sports for. Enjoy these women competing on a consistent basis. You can compare Paige Beckers to Caitlin Clark as they're both number one pick guards and allow them to have their thing that's very normal. Don't make it weird. Don't be weird. Stop being weird, in my personal opinion. Allow this to be a sport that is taken seriously because of this great product of watching these women go out there compete at a high level. And be perfectly honest with you, this may sound crazy. I think they care about the sport more than NBA players do.
They do.
They go out there. They do. Hatred sometimes, and they are going to leave it out there in a way that I don't think you see on a night-to-night basis for NBA players. And I think that really does make for a better product at times, and it should be treated as such, in my personal opinion.
The only thing I'll have caused a pause with the WNBA ladies, though, is that they need to have some realness with this collective bargaining agreement. Like some of the things that I've heard, I think have been a little bit outrageous to a degree. I want those ladies to make more money than what they do, so they don't have to go play overseas. We don't have to see another Brittany Griner situation where she's held captive in Ukraine or whatever the case may be. But they need to have a little bit of just understanding that this league is going to take time for them to get the kind of numbers that they want to see, and it may not come with this generation or even the next generation. It's going to take some time. Just like when the NBA was back in the 70s and early 80s, it took time. Like the NBA was in influx of maybe closing down, but then luckily Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan came along, and then the rest was history. And I think that's where this league is. Like we're getting the Caitlin Clarks, we're getting the Angel Reeses, the Asia Wilsons, and now we're going to get the Jujus and the Kiki Ifrans and all these young ladies. And it's helping the league grow, but they got to be patient. Get your money, but you don't want to go into this situation where you're going to lock out the league. I don't think that would be a great thing for those ladies at all.
And I got one more thing on the W, and I was just having this conversation with Mom Dukes the other night, but the place that they got the Atlanta Dream playing in right now is criminal. Yeah. Because they got the spot where it's just the lower bowl of seats, and that's it. I think she said that's like 2 Chainz' gym or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, wow,
right.
It's bad.
No. I think he bought the place originally as a gym years ago, and then when the Dream, debuted, he turned it into an arena. But I bring that up because I'm watching them in the playoffs, and there's really no real like home court advantage compared to like where the Fever play at. They play in the place where the Pacers play at. That place is loud, The Aces, they got a big, 19,000 seat arena. The Liberty play at Barclays. Like, I think the W has to get to a point where all these teams play in 19,000 seat arenas because, the place the Atlanta Dream play at, there's really no advantage. And I just think it's criminal.
Yeah, State Farm's right there. I don't see why they can't play there.
They should.
Yeah, exactly.
In my personal opinion,
exactly.
They're a good enough team to justify it. I completely agree with you. I think that this CBA, they deserve a bigger slice of the pie as far as the percentage are concerned. Now you talk about getting paid the same as NBA. No, that's just not. That's not the numbers that they're pulling in, and that's okay. But you talk about where this league is at 20, 25 years into their growth. They're actually ahead of the curve in a lot of ways as far as compared to the NBA, and so. They're on the right track. They are
Yeah, I've heard that.
continuing to
Yeah.
build things out. They have the stars outside of just a Caitlin Clark. From that perspective, things are going in the right direction, and I'm happy to see it for the W because these ladies deserve it, in my personal opinion.
100%.
And I say it for your Mystics, Maestro. They should be at Cap One Arena, all their
Yeah,
games.
absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny. I've seen Mystics games because I went to Howard, so I went to Mystics games back in the day. That gym is out in the boonies as far as that's concerned. But they should be at Capital, and look, Sonia and Kiki are going to be the duo that'll make it happen as well. Mystics got some price.
I was gonna say, but it seemed like the young girls we got over there, like we on our way. It would seem like, but that area, and then that area is it's just so new over there. That area where the stadium is, like I agree that they
Yeah.
need a bigger space. But that whole area is new. Like we shouldn't nobody really have to go over there and be subjected to go over there for games.
It looks weird over
Neighborhood wise.
Yeah.
Nah, but and I won't make this a geography podcast, but that's that Congress Height area. Like, nah, yeah, like it's cluckers everywhere, but they different on Alabama Avenue. Let's say that.
For sure.
One thing I will say, Chris, before we get to the next topic, Tyreek Hill did go down with a serious injury. He went off on an air cast.
I just saw it pop on my phone too. Yeah,
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill went down?
Yeah,
leg injury
with an air cast
caught it off.
So,
ooh, no. Damn, that's tough.
Prayers for the homie. Damn.
These injuries, man, they're killing us. They're killing us.
Yeah,
NFL season.
Damn.
All right, man. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we'll get back with the next topic.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
All right, we are back. All right, man. Let's talk a little NBA. Maul, I know you have some questions for the NBA. This is your sport.
Yeah. I definitely got some questions for the gentleman here, man. Obviously, NBA season is kicking off, training camp is kicking off. So, first up, man, Joel Embiid, he talked at his presser, about his whole situation, how he was coming back, saying that he's feeling better, but he still has the same outlook that they're going to definitely listen to his body a little bit more. What's your guys' thought on the whole Joel Embiid situation, the whole Sixers situation, and the outlook for that team this year?
I would.
Man, I don't see that from good regular season team. They'll be trash. They'll be doing nothing in the playoffs. I don't believe Joel Embiid. Like you supposed to say all these things. You're supposed to say, yeah, I feel good, and I'm, he's saying all the right things, like he's done in prior years, and like anybody would do after they come off a year injury. I don't believe this team. If we talking about as far as like how the team they're putting together. I know the whole process thing, even though I don't really use that anymore, and really nobody does. But like they got a roster where you think they should be, talking about being one of the top seeds and maybe it's coming and maybe even coming out of the East. But I just don't believe it with this team. I just don't.
I don't either. The Joel Embiid can't stay healthy when it matters most, and all due respect, and he's not an incredibly talented player, obviously when he's out there, but I have no reason to believe that all of a sudden it's going to come together this year. I feel the same way about him as I do about Kawhi. To be perfectly honest with you, and I think Paul George has
Mm-hmm.
obviously lost it. Obviously a good draft pick for them or VJ. I think that'll help him out. And Tyrese Maxey is still a really good young player, so it's not like they'll be bad. But no, I can't believe in the Sixers with Embiid's health. No.
Yeah, I don't trust Joel Embiid, his health anyway. I just think with this team, they just got a whole bunch of folks coming back off of injury. That kid McLean that filled in for them last year, he got hurt, and I don't know what his timetable is to come back. I mean, really, it's really Tyrese Maxey and really kind of everybody else. Honestly, this year with the East, the way it's set up, they should be thinking, hey, they could be a top 4 seed. They should be, when you
Mm-hmm.
compare it to like the likes of what the Hawks did, what the Magic are. Yeah, you would look at the Sixers and be like, if all these guys, health, stands at pat, they could be a top 4 seed. But that's the issue is their health, and I don't trust it.
Nah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I
Go,
agree.
Chris.
No, I agree with y'all, man. Me and Mom knows how I feel about the Sixers, man. It's all this every year. It's all this. Joel
Mm-hmm.
Embiid is healthy, and
Mm-hmm.
and then he's hurt by game 30. He's on the bench. He low management.
Yeah.
Something wrong with him.
Yeah.
He took himself out the game. He don't feel like playing. His heart ain't into it. This is like, all right, man. Stop selling.
Yeah, man. And then it's that part, right? So like even like nobody gonna sit here and deny
Mm-hmm.
talent. But I mean, hey, I'm the biggest one on the court. Let me go do what I do. Like he just don't got that in him. He ain't had it in him in a brick. Like so it's just like to sit here and act like all of a sudden because he healthy, like he gonna come in and start being a dominant. Like it's times where like he need to play the paint and he want to shoot threes and like nah man, nah man. I've been
Yeah,
off Joel Embiid for a brick.
Nah,
yeah.
yeah, I feel you. I feel y'all. We're gonna switch over to the Warriors and this Jonathan Kuminga situation. Obviously, he's been kind of in this whole contract holdout situation. We all know how Steve Kerr and this organization doesn't seem like they are vibing with Kuminga. Obviously, with the way they've been kind of playing him on and off the court. What do you guys think about the whole Jonathan Kuminga situation? What do you think the Warriors should do? What do you think Kuminga should do?
So I'll say this, and then I unfortunately I got to log off.
No, you're
But
good.
Yeah, I was.
with the Kaminga situation, right? So I remember in the play-in game, I believe it was the play-in, and me and Maestro we're having conversations about this guy actually not suiting up for some of these important games, and it's like, yo, like they've been talking about this guy, since he got in the league, and it just seems like there's some developmental issues with the Warriors and with how Steve Kerr, brings these young guys up. He's supposed to be an integral piece to this team because obviously Jimmy Butler is old, Steph Curry is old, even though he can still shoot the lights out. And, Draymond Green is, 35, 36 years old. So, these are the guys, the Moody's, the Kamingas, like those are the dudes that have to step into these roles and be the ones to, it kind of reminds me of when Kawhi Leonard was with San Antonio. You knew Duncan, you knew Tony Parker and Ginobili were the vets, but they were aging vets. And if you remember that finals against the Heat, the second one that the Heat lost in 2014, Kawhi was a big part of why they won that finals. He was, at that time, young up and coming player. The Warriors need to somehow figure out how to incorporate their young talent in with this Warriors core. So that's kind of where I'll leave it at. Chris, Maul, appreciate you guys,
Appreciate it coming on, brother.
Yes, sir.
happy, 200th episode. Me and Maestro know what it's like to accomplish something, big as, doing this for a long time, not just with your homeboy, but with your brother, so,
Yeah.
me and Maestro, we can relate to you guys and, how you do this every week. So, and D-Mac, nice to meet you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Same here.
Yes, sir.
All love here for sure. So, y'all have a good night and a great rest of the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Salute.
Appreciate it.
Good
Salute.
talking to you,
Appreciate
Trey.
y'all, man.
Thank y'all.
All right. All right.
we're good to go.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as the Kuminga situation, actually kind of similar to the Cam Thomas situation with the Nets. I mean, some of these teams are operating accordingly with kind of the aprons that have now been implemented with the new CBA and stuff. So these are some of the things that are going to happen when you don't necessarily think you love a player, compared to obviously like a situation where you do want to extend them and have them there for a long time. You just kind of got to hold on to their rights and hope if you could trade them in the right deal. And if you can't, then it's going to get a little awkward. And that's just kind of where that holding pattern is at. And that's just where the Warriors and Kuminga are at. And that's just kind of the way the CBA is built right now.
No, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just saying, I don't know, man. I'm not too much familiar with how Golden State do their stuff, man. But hopefully they can figure something out, man, because they're getting old, man, and they need to get some more youth over there, man. Because them living off the Steph Curry days and Draymond Green, you know how I feel about Draymond. I want to punch him in his face. They need to get the fountain of youth over there, man. It's time to move on from the old guard and start bringing in the new guard over there. So,
like, do you think there should be more of a conversation with the Warriors though, with all this talent leaving? Like, you have the Kevin Durant situation, you had the Jordan Poole situation, now you have the Jonathan Kuminga situation. Do you think there's something wrong with that culture in the green? I get it, they won these championships, but
his name is Draymond.
I don't know if it's a Draymond Green specific situation. Not that he may negatively contribute to it either way.
Yeah.
I think it's just, hey, the Warriors were a dynasty and now they're not a dynasty, and this is kind of what happens to teams when they're not a dynasty after being a dynasty. It's just just a steady decline. That's how it goes.
No doubt. I got a couple more here. We'll talk about the Rockets and obviously the addition to Kevin Durant, and then obviously the big injury to Fred VanVleet. Obviously he tore his ACL. What impact do you think that injury will have to this team? Do you guys still put them as championship contenders that could compete with the Thunder and compete for a championship out in the West, or do you think that kind of like brought them back to like maybe where the Minnesota Timberwolves, Clippers, and all that type?
Yeah, I thought that they had a chance to compete at the top, in my opinion. But ultimately, when you lose that level of player, and then again, it's not like he was an all-star, but still, he was a very good player and fills a need as far as the floor spacing that they would need, specifically for the way in which that Rockets roster is built and a secondary ball handler too. So it's tough. I don't know if they can try and make a trade for an impact playmaker, specifically at the guard position. If they can, then that's good. But otherwise, it's going to be tough for me to say that they're going to be in the championship contention, which I thought they had a range of outcomes that could have put them there, depending on how some of the younger guys ended up progressing. It's a little bit difficult for me to see that now that Fred is going to be out. So they got to make a major move, in my opinion. We'll see if anything does materialize for them.
Yeah, I agree. VanVleet, he has championship pedigree. He's won the championship before, so he knows what it's like to win one. Him and Kevin Durant would have been good, but that's a big loss. You know what I'm saying? Especially losing one of your leaders like that in the locker room. So, yeah, it really sucks that he went down. Hopefully get well soon. But yeah, I'm with D-Mac. They need to make a move, man. They need to make a move if they want to stay there.
Nah, I agree. And then I'll end the NBA topic with this one. Obviously, the big conversation has been this Kawhi Leonard no-show job situation. Obviously, Pablo Torre, he's been doing an amazing job. He also he released some new information where I believe Steve Ballmer invested into this foundation group that was ran by one of the co-founders of Aspiration. It was named in a different group, but it was still amount of a $1.875 million donation. And it still kind of gives that vibes of that, they were still trying to pay off Kawhi, because he also does have text messages going back with his agent and the guy from Aspiration. So what's your guys' overall feel from what you guys know from the Kawhi Leonard situation, and what do you guys think will ultimately happen and Adam Silver and the NBA will do to the Clippers?
Answer this question for me. If your friend, asked you for $20 and then didn't pay you back for 2 weeks, and then he was like, "I need $20 more," would you give him that $20?
No.
Okay. So obviously they were circumventing the cap, which is fine, I guess, because the NBA can't really punish them, because it's going to open a whole Pandora's box that I don't think the NBA wants to really open. So the reality situation is the Clippers, in my personal opinion, have always been the little brother in LA. They did the whole "we're the king of LA" when they signed Kawhi Leonard and traded for Paul George, which that's cute when you already got a team that's established and ready to go. They didn't have that. They didn't have the Spurs to develop around Kawhi. They didn't have the Raptors, which had already built an entire, really system and roster that was very well put together. They didn't have that. They tried to put it together on the fly, say we're the Kings, et cetera, and we see how that's worked out for them since, including multiple choke jobs, blown leads, et cetera, et cetera. All that being said is this. The Clippers almost, I won't say single-handedly because it's a lot that went into the Thunder championship, but almost single-handedly handed the Thunder championship with SGA and all the picks that they ended up giving them as far as that was concerned as well. It's been a bad few years for the Clippers. But that being said, Steve Ballmer has given them a relevance that they hadn't had previously. That's just, and yeah, Lob City was cute and all, but obviously after the whole Donald Sterling thing, like they were treading water. And honestly, the NBA hit a home run in getting a owner that was like Steve Ballmer, that was willing to put the money into the Clippers and make them a relevant organization. And so they have to now protect that investment in many respects as well. So no, you're gonna have to reset because Kawhi isn't going to get you there. And I wish you the best of luck, Clippers. But yeah, you were definitely circumventing the cap, and Pablo Torre found out and is making y'all look like fools every single time he comes out with a new piece of information of how y'all were throwing millions of dollars at an organization that was supposedly scamming you.
Yeah, I agree with D-Mac, man. It's a crazy situation with the Clippers right now. I don't know. They got some wild stuff, and anything with Kawhi Leonard is always wild. You know, you know how I feel about Kawhi Leonard, Mo. I feel like he just be over there stealing money, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like Embiid a little bit, where he just, he plays when he wants to play, and then all of a sudden his knee hurt, and it's just like, I'm gonna sit out for 30 games, and it's just like, all right. So I don't think the Clippers are ever going to win the championship anytime soon. I don't think they have that in them, and I think that organization is cursed. Personally, this is me. So
yeah, shout out to my boy Tyler, man.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. I want to do a little trivia with y'all, man. So
okay,
see y'all NBA NFL knowledge.
All right.
It's time for Cris Sports Trivia.
All right, these are multiple choice, so make it easy on y'all. Y'all can do some educated guessing if y'all need to be.
Okay. I like multiple guests. You know what I mean? I usually do pretty good.
It's like I gotta sit up here and guess. I'm give y'all some options. So
y'all gonna give me a Scantron?
Yo, facts. Make sure it's number 2, no pen.
All right, first question. Who was the first player in the NBA history with a quadruple double in NBA history? A. Hakeem Olajuwon. B. Nate Thorman. C. David Robinson. Or D. Alvin Robertson.
I believe David Robinson.
I was gonna say David.
Nope, it is Nate.
It's not. Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds Nate. Okay.
Who was the first European player to win the MVP? A. Tony Parker. B. Dirk Nowitzki. C. Giannis. Or D. Paul Gasol.
I'm gonna go Giannis.
What'd you say, D-Mac?
Dirk. Sorry.
Yeah, you was right, D-Mac. It's Dirk.
Dirk. Okay.
They were calling him Sharman Soft for the entire time until 2011 happened.
Right.
Yeah, he did win it in 2011. Yeah, he did. I forgot.
Who was the first black head coach to win a Super Bowl? A. Mike Tomlin. B. Tony Dungy. C. Art Shell. Or D. Dennis Green.
Tony Dungy. That's the Peyton Manning Super Bowl. He won in the rain. The best halftime show of all time, by the way.
What was that? Purple Rain, Prince?
Yeah, Purple Rain. In the rain in Miami.
I remember that one.
What year did the NFL AFL merge? A. 1966. B. 1961. C. 1970. Or D. 1972.
I'm gonna say D.
Wrong.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say 70. No, I'll take that back. I'm gonna take 70.
I believe 64.
No, it was C. 1970.
It was 70. Okay.
Mhm.
Because they had the AFL NFL championship a few
Right.
years, and then they merged. Okay.
Merged. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Who was the first tight end with 1,000 yards in a single season? A. Grunt. B. Kellen Winslow Sr. C. Tony G. Or D. Mike Dicker.
MIZ, baby.
Was it Kellen? Kellen was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. MIZ.
Yes, sir. All right. Who was the first pick in the 2000 NFL draft? This is the Tom Brady draft. A. Chad Pennington. B. Peter Warwick. C. LeVar Arlington. Or D. Courtney Brown.
Was it LeVar?
I was gonna go with C. No. Okay.
Oh, what was the other name?
D. Courtney Brown.
Was it Warwick?
No,
No.
it was Courtney Brown.
It was.
It was Courtney Brown.
Brown.
Huh?
I think he ended up being a bust too.
Yeah, he had to be because I don't remember that name.
Nope, I don't either. So he had to be.
He was drafted by the Browns.
There you go.
Which player has the most career assists in NBA history? A. Magic, B. J. Kidd, C. John Stockton, or D. Chris Paul?
Stockton.
Yep.
Him and that nasty boy out of Utah. Whole lot of assists. Whole lot of assists.
Right. What year did MJ retire the first time? 92, 93, 99, or 98?
93.
93. Yep.
Who has the most NBA championships? A. Lakers, B. Celtics, C. Bulls, D.
Celtics.
Spurs.
Celtics.
Celtics broke that tie. 18.
Not 17, 18. Yeah, 18.
I just wanted to hear Miles say that because he's a Lakers fan.
I knew. That's why I was like already rolling my eyes when you asked that question.
And last question. Who is the only player to win a Heisman Trophy and a Super Bowl trophy? Marcus Allen, Roger Staubach, Bo Jackson, or Charles Woodson?
Charles Woodson?
No, it's Marcus Allen.
It's Marcus Allen? Mm.
Oh, really?
I thought,
There was okay, yeah.
I thought
So I
Charles
had
Woodson won with the Packers. He didn't win it. Oh, he didn't win. Did he win it with the Packers?
He did win, but I'm just going off what they told me.
Oh, like, no, I ain't wrong. I could have swore Charles Woodson won with
because I know Starbuck obviously won with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That looked at because I looked it up the other day who had won the Heisman and MVP because it was a Cam Newton type of thing, and I know Starbuck was on that list. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. It's time for Maul's random news.
Oh man, let's do it.
It is now time for Maul's random news.
Yeah, man, everybody likes this. So, 200 episode, we're gonna make it not long, but we got a couple topics. So first up, man, EA has finally been sold for $55 billion. It finally has gone private. The buyers included the Newcastle's owners and the Saudi Public Investment Fund. What's your guys' overall thoughts with the sale of EA going private, and what do you think this means for the future of the video games that they do produce?
Hey, man, give us fight night and make that damn college game better, damn it. That's all I got.
Yeah, give us NFL Street back as well.
Hey, Blitz, Street, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to sit here and think that this is going to mean anything, but I think it's sold to like a Saudi group.
Yeah,
so it's not like they're going to suddenly care about the quality of the game. They're going to care about making the most money.
They're going to do it work.
I don't know. I personally don't have high hopes.
Yeah, some people think that with the amount of money that Saudi has, they're going to be like mainly focused on maybe better in the games. But I agree with you, D-Mac. I don't think really much is really going to change.
I don't think I was going to say something that's probably going to get me in trouble. But I don't think that they're in it for the quality of the games. That's just the situation.
But I'm also curious what the purpose is to buy EA. I'm very curious to see what the whole purpose is to buy EA. Like, what is it that they see? Because they bought it for a reason. So I don't know if they want to go in a different venture or do something. Like it's mainly known for its video games. Maybe it wants to, broaden its impact, maybe go into, more media as far as like with EA and stuff like that. I don't know, but
I know the Saudis have been very invested in a wide variety of American sports across the board, and so maybe this is just the next step in being a part of that.
I think this does speak well for Fight Night, though. I really do believe it speaks well for Fight
Yeah,
Night.
if your boy Turk is a part of it.
Oh, he definitely gonna be part of that. Definitely gonna be part of that. He'll probably be the cover athlete, low key. Low key.
Wow.
I think that it honestly does. Fight Night and really all combat sports, because it is a massive piece of what they want to do as far as the Saws are concerned in that realm, specifically in sports. So yeah.
All right, next up, man. Seems like the Simpsons aren't going anywhere, man. They announced that a new movie is coming July 23rd, 2027. Do you guys have any thoughts about this? Do you remember the last movie?
I enjoyed the last movie.
I did. It was good.
I don't know if I need a sequel, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I'm surprised. I'm just surprised this show is still around. I grew up on the show as a kid, and I remember my mom saying, "You can't watch this show; they're doing too much." But I'm surprised I'm surprised people are still tuned in to watch The Simpsons, and now they want to make a movie out of it. So I don't know. Maybe they got the algorithms and the analytics back and say, "Hey, we need another one." So whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. Simpsons ain't going anywhere anytime soon, it looks like. So next up, man, seems like the numbers finally came out for Disney. Seems like Disney reportedly saw over 1.7 million paid streaming cancellations over the Jimmy Kimmel situation and suspension. What are you guys' thoughts about this story here?
Go ahead,
people talked. Shouldn't have taken them off the air. Like,
yeah,
you're not supposed to give in to that pressure. You're supposed to respect and protect the people that you believe in enough to put in that time slot and pay to a lot of money to do so. So they gave in, they suffered the consequences, and he was right back on next week.
Yeah.
You are the mouse. You're one of the more powerful media companies in the world. Y'all own damn near everything. Like, what you scared of?
What are you doing? What are you doing bowing down in any way, shape, or form? You were Apple, you were Google, as far as the level of what your standing is. You don't need to succumb to that type of pressure. You don't.
Yeah. And you probably own one of the most important things, and that's sports aspect. You own those properties. You own ESPN. That's the biggest thing for any station.
You got Super Bowl rights coming up. You own a literal night of the week every single fall. You're good. You don't need to.
You own Marvel. You own Star Wars. Like, what are we doing here, man?
Man, for real. Nah, I agree with y'all. Next up, man, Rex Ryan. He was on Get Up early this morning. He made some comments about Shador Sanders. He said this kid talks and he runs his mouth. Like he said, I can be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You've got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now. What's your guys' thoughts on what Rex Ryan said about Shador Sanders?
I don't think Rex Ryan knows much about football. But definitely not quarterback play for that matter. Yeah. I think. Could Shador be the starting quarterback for the Browns? I do think that's possible. I didn't necessarily like his comments. I will be perfectly honest with you. I didn't like his comments personally. I think he had done a really good job at not saying anything too controversial throughout the entirety of this process. I think he stepped out a little bit there. But look, I don't think that he is alone in the feeling in that locker room that they need another starting quarterback, because it looks like Joe Flacco's got nothing left to give. And that defense is out there working their butts off every single play to try and make some of these games close. So I think that he is maybe selfishly expounding some of the views in that locker room of saying, hey, we need to make a change at quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like it. I thought he kind of stepped over bounds saying, I mean, is it the truth? Yeah, with the quarterback play nowadays, can Shador Sanders start a football game? Of course he could. But I don't think he should, especially with all the scrutiny he's already getting. They was already talking about him turning down the Ravens, you know what I'm saying, getting drafted by them. And they was trying to get him on that. So I just think he could have just kept that on the inside, bide his time, because eventually you was going to play, man. Dylan Gabriel ain't it. He ain't.
That's the thing. He paints a bigger target on his back than he needs to. If if he continues along this path that he had been on previously, when Dylan Gabriel inevitably fails because he's not an NFL quarterback, then you get your chance, and the expectations are, just be better than terrible quarterback play at that point. So you didn't need to paint that target on your back, in my opinion.
Right.
No, I agree. All right, next up, this is the first media day since 2007 without Russell Westbrook being in the league. Obviously, he's not on the team currently right now. If this is his last shot, let's say he doesn't get a team, what will be your overall remembrance of his career? What do you think will be the number one thing we will remember about Russell Westbrook's basketball career?
Always gave it 110% on the court. Regardless if he couldn't shoot, if he couldn't do whatever, he was going to give you 110 up and down the court. That's what he was going to give you, and that's what I always respect about Russ, that he was going to come down the lane, try to dunk on you, and he played with reckless abandonment.
And there's something admirable about saying that about a legacy of Russ. No matter what, you knew that guy was going to give you everything that he had every single night for the team. And that is something that I do appreciate about any player, and certainly a guard of his stature, what he brought to the table. So awesome point guard in his prime. No doubt about it. An all around guy. I was never one of those, hey, rebounding or fake stats, fake triple double, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. That to me doesn't exist because rebounding is a valuable thing. So I will remember him as an excellent point guard in his prime, and a guy that tried his best to be a role player later on, but always was giving you 150%, which is admirable.
Yeah.
Do you think Russell Westbrook is a top 75 player of all time?
No. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's possible he is. I don't know. I've never sat down. I've never sat down like Chuck and wrote out 100 LeBron James in my life. But I do think that he deserves to be mentioned in the conversation.
Yeah.
But as a Kyrie stan, I am still upset that Kyrie was left off that top 75 list because he 100% deserved to be there.
Of course.
I agree. Next up, seems like China has a new invention. It seems like it invented a new bone glue that repairs bone fractures in just 3 minutes. No surgery or metal plates are needed. What are your guys' thoughts on this news coming out of China?
That's out of my pay grade.
We continue to be outpaced by a lot of different countries in a lot of different areas, and that is unfortunately due to leadership not getting better. And this is one example of it. It was, I would actually give me 2 seconds. Chris, say something about this real quick while I look this up. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I agree with you. Like China, Japan, Russia, all of them. That's why all of them go overseas to do stem cells and get their knee worked on and come back over here better than ever. So we're always behind in the times when it comes to medical or technology,
infrastructure, like Medicare, school, teaching.
You got 3-year-olds over in Japan. They can tell you a whole trigonometry.
It's insane how outpaced we are compared to other countries when we're supposed to be this country that is looked at as being this innovator. Like we're supposed to be the country that everybody looks up to, but we're really not.
And Huntington's disease was just treated for the first time in the UK, and I was trying to remember what European country it was. But no, unfortunately, like you guys just said, we are outpaced in a lot of different areas. Structurally, infrastructure, certainly in the medical field, technological advancements, certainly as far as China is concerned. And now we are in a position in which our influence on the world stage is also lesser, so we can't take advantage of our allies that can make those advancements through some of the other ways in which really, I shouldn't say other ways, through the military protection that we have always provided to those allies too. So it's not a surprise that it was happened in China. I'll tell you that much, not a surprise, but it's great for the medical industry.
We'll see if we'll ever see that out here. Next up, Super Bowl halftime show got announced. Some people excited, some people not. Some fans are already saying that they want to boycott the Super Bowl halftime show unless the NFL changes the singer from Bad Bunny to an American performer. Bad Bunny is obviously he is from Puerto
Born
Rico.
American.
He's American, so What are your guys' overall thoughts with Bad Bunny and obviously the controversy with some fans saying
I
that
get
he
it.
shouldn't be the
He's a big superstar. It ain't like they got some dude from the back alley to do the Super Bowl. Y'all gotta be realistic about these Super Bowl performances. They not about to get Bun B on the stage and start rapping. It's not gonna happen.
I don't think they want Bun B. I think they want
That
Taylor
could be.
Swift. I think they want Toby Keith. I think it's these fans.
Bad Bunny is the third highest streaming artist on Spotify, bro. Like this is a major performance. The Super Bowl is an international spectacle. It is broadcast worldwide. The NFL is making it a point specifically into the Latin American communities to reach out and have that aspect of it emphasized as well because they want to expand internationally. This is a great idea. I'm sure when Jay-Z brought this to Roger Goodell, he was like, yeah, this is a perfect fit for us. This is an incredibly popular artist. He is worldwide. We are trying to get into Latin communities. This makes perfect sense. So people can be upset about it. Him and Haw, obviously the political climate plays into this to a certain extent as well. I do not care. I hope they cry. And also, it's the Super Bowl halftime show. If you don't like it, go get some more pizza, use the bathroom, and get ready for the second half of the game. You'll be okay. I promise.
Yeah.
Nah, I think this halftime show about to be lit. Like
I'm sure it's gonna be fire.
If you love women,
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be.
I know Bad Bunny knows how to put on a show. Man. This is gonna be a
If
great
it's
show.
anything like that halftime show in Brazil, hey, sign me up, baby.
No, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better.
Sign me up.
I was thinking of the Shakira. Who was with Shakira? It was Shakira and somebody else in Miami.
Bruno, was it?
No, it was
Bruno. Was it Bruno?
No, it was
No,
J-Lo, wasn't it?
It was J-Lo, right? I think
J-Lo,
it was
yeah, J-Lo,
J-Lo.
yeah.
I could be wrong, but that one was a great one too.
Yeah,
Bad Bunny's gonna put on a show.
Nah, he's gonna put on a major show, and if anybody don't want to watch, who cares, man? I think Bad
Go
Bunny's
get some
gonna
wings,
kill it.
man.
I think this
do?
halftime show gonna be lit.
Hey, what you gonna do? Boycott the Super Bowl?
That's what they talking about. Hey, that's what they saying. Hey,
go ahead.
It is what it is.
Hey,
Because you know
remember-
what? Your little 2,000 eyes or 5,000 eyes that will miss it, you're gonna have at least another 5 million overseas that are gonna be watching it. Just
I promise you, absolutely. You got
probably more than that. I'm probably lowballing as hell with that number too. So shout out to Bad Bunny, man. Shout out to the NFL making the right choice.
Y'all said y'all was boycotting the NFL 10 years ago, and obviously the NFL ain't missing money.
Nah, I thought it was gonna be I thought it was gonna be Taylor Swift the whole time. That's what I thought it was gonna be.
I did think it was gonna be Taylor Swift,
but she's coming. She's coming.
I think she's too big for it now. I think she's too big. She's gonna say I don't want to do it.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's still a great stage, especially if she has a new project coming out. I think it's an amazing stage. Next up, have you guys seen the Dame Dash Charlemagne interview? Have you guys saw that?
I saw pieces of it. I saw that he was like, you have to explain it to me to give a little bit of conflict.
Well, pretty much they had their little back and forth, you know what I mean? Dame Dash is going to take legal action, based off that interview. He's going to sue Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club, claiming they damaged his reputation during the recent viral interview. So
he's going the Drake route then.
Pretty much, yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
He did that on his own.
You want to be associated with Drake? Sure, I guess. Yeah, sure. If you want to go that route.
Look, man, the fall of Dame Dash it's bad, dog. Like he was at one time one of the top CEO executive dudes, part of Rockefeller. Now it's just like all he does is get on camera and tell everybody else how they now bosses, and now he's better than everybody. He has this high and mighty, sitting on high horse type feel to him, and he just looks stupid every time. It's just Jay-Z was right, man.
Nah, yeah, for real. He was. Got a couple more. Terrence Crawford, he celebrated his big win against Canelo in his home state of Nebraska, in Omaha, in his city. But later that night, he did get pulled over. There is video of him getting gunpoint with police officers. What's your kind of overall thoughts about this whole situation with Terrence Crawford and what happened to him in his home city?
I just let you know, man, no matter how much you achieve or how high you get on the mountain, they still gonna try to knock you down. And shout out to Terrence Crawford. He handled it with grace. He didn't flash out or anything. I think he got released and everything, but that's just sad. It's sad.
Yeah. Was he in trouble? Did they charge him with anything?
I think the police they made a report saying that they noticed, I guess, some reckless driving, and then I guess they noticed that there was a gun in the car, but he was permitted. He had all that, but they did pull out their guns and get him out the car and put him in handcuffs. And,
You just had a parade for the man, and now you want to just.
Hey, look, we all unfortunately, live in this country, and this is one of the things that comes with it. And like you said, Chris, no matter what you do, what you accomplish, that always is going to be a part of it. But shout out to Crawford for handling it, the best that we can. And doesn't look like he's going to have anything coming of it, and he deserves to continue to celebrate, man, because that was a heck of a win for him.
Nah, for real. And then I'll end it off with this NBA topic. Adam Silver says NBA teams could potentially face off against NBA Europe teams even in the playoffs. He's quote, you possibly could see teams coming into our playoffs top seeds from other leagues. When I think of the flight from New York to LA, for example, there's no reason if we had 4 teams in Europe you couldn't travel, play the Knicks or Nets, travel to London, play 3 or 4 times in Europe, come back home. So I think it's very doable in our league. What are your guys' thoughts with this? Do you think they should go this route, or do you think they should just keep things the way it is?
Keep things where it is. I feel about it the same way I do with the NFL. It's like, hey, you can't really justify European teams that are based there until flight gets faster. I understand the New York to LA comparison. I understand it, but it's still untenable in my personal opinion. So, Adam Silver throws a lot of stuff out there. I don't think he's as bad a commissioner as some other people do, in my personal opinion. I think he's doing a solid enough job, but this isn't an idea that he should follow through on, in my opinion.
I think he's terrible.
I know a lot of people do not like him at all, and I understand it. But I don't know. Now I will say the comment that he made about the highlights, that was a terrible comment.
That was bad. That was bad. I was like, bro, you have no kind of self-awareness on what this league is going through right now, and it's looking more and more by the day. Like, the stuff he's focused on is not what's needed for this league.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what he be doing over there, man. Sometimes I just think he be throwing stuff at the wall and say, "Let's try this." All-star game, the end season tournament type stuff. He just be throwing stuff at the wall to see if it stick.
I don't mind the in-season tournament. I know that's probably a hot take as well. I don't mind it for what it's supposed to provide, which is a twist or a little bit something to pay attention to in the middle of the season. The All-Star game stuff, it's dumb. I mean, the reality situation is you just got to have these guys play, and if they want to play, then they will play, and if they don't want to play, then it's not going to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's go ahead and end this off with our NFL Week 4 rundown.
Let's do
it. All right. All right. So we had London, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Minnesota Vikings went at it, and we found out that Carson Wentz is still Carson Wentz.
Which every Chiefs fan that watched Week 18 last year could have told you. I will say, good on the Steelers, man. That was a really nice performance from them, and DK Metcalf is still.
That's what I would say. Aaron Rodgers, he probably had one of his better games. The first game, he threw for a bunch of yards in that game because the Jets' defense was just terrible that game. But no, he had one of his cleanest games. Gainwell looks like he might be starting running back for the Steelers right now because he's the only one that can get some yardage. And he did good for my fantasy, too. And like you said, DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers have a little rapport. I still think they need one more weapon over there if they want to be taken seriously. And that defense got to shape up. They got to get it together. They had one of their better games this week, but when you playing Carson Wentz, you got to take that with a grain of salt. So.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of this Pittsburgh Steelers team. It's just something about them that I just do not like. Like I think DK Metcalf, he had one of his, great games, and then he'll disappear for 2-3 weeks. We all know what's happening. Their running game is still inconsistent. I think Kenneth Gainwell, he had a really good game this week. That defense, I'm still not impressed. Like, I just think it was a weird situation going to London. It's just weird games. And then, I feel bad for Justin Jefferson and Addison and all those guys. Like, Carson Wentz didn't have a bad game. Like, he still threw for almost over 300 yards or something like that. But, yeah, man, it was just like one of those weird early morning games that, I don't know, you just kind of chuck it to the side.
Yeah, the Chargers played the Giants. The Giants end up upsetting the Chargers 21-18. Joe Alt went out with a high ankle sprain. He should be out for a couple of weeks. So when it rains, it pours with the Chargers and their injury report. Jackson Dart had his first game start. He had a mediocre game. He 111 in the air, 1 touchdown. Cam Scatterboo 79 yards. But Justin Herbert, that defensive line was giving Justin Herbert hell. He really couldn't get nothing off. He had a solid game. Omarion Hampton had one of his better games, 128 yards. I know Malik Neighbors, he ended up tearing his ACL. Prayers up to him. Hopefully he gets better for next season. But what were your guys' thoughts on this game?
It was a game. Jackson Dart, I don't think was great, but he was better than Russell Wilson and gave them a little bit something different, especially for Brian Daboll to kind of scheme around with his legs. And you can tell that's why he's been getting his feet wet, to be ready for that type of game. But they did enough job. And look, that Giants pass rush is as advertised. And when you have the offensive line issues that the Chargers have, that can ruin your entire offensive plan. And that's what you saw out there, even despite Justin Herbert's best efforts. And I think that he's been excellent this season.
Yes.
There's only but so much you can do to overcome offensive line issues, as we saw for Patrick Mahomes last year when he didn't have a left tackle. So that's just a result of a great defensive line getting after what was a terrible offensive line. And the Giants did enough on offense to get the job done. So, hey, the Giants are going to be a little bit frisky the rest of the season because Daboll knows how to scheme it up with a quarterback specifically that has his legs into it. And obviously that defensive line can give some offensive line problems.
Yeah, I think the Chargers, that O-line situation is tough. You know what I mean? Like, it's you lose your top 2 guys. It's obviously you're going to have your struggles. But I thought Omari Hampton was probably the biggest star, me personally, that I saw on that field. He looked amazing. He looked like what we all thought he could be, coming out of the draft from North Carolina. As far as like the New York Giants, though, like, I know they won, but they're about to get Jackson Dart killed, bro. Like, he already went out with a concussion, but he was able to come back in that game. Just the play calling, you can tell they don't trust him throwing the ball at all. They keep doing all these RPOs. That's only going to work so often. Like, I'm very curious to see how they run that offense, going into the next game, because you already know no one's going to fall for that at all. The Giants they're running thin on that offensive side, though. Tyrone Tracy, he's out for the next couple weeks. Shout out to Malik Neighbors, prayers out to him. He's gone. And I agree with all the conversation about MetLife. Get rid of that turf, man. Get some grass. You make billions and billions of dollars. Get some grass, man. Like, we've seen enough of these injuries from Aaron Rodgers to Malik Neighbors to Odell Beckham, and the list goes on and on, man. I don't understand why they still stick with this turf stuff. Get rid of it. Do natural grass. And, do it for the betterment of your team, because your team gets affected most out of anybody else. So, good win for the Giants, but I just thought overall it was just kind of a weird situation with the Chargers, but I think they'll bounce back, and I think the Giants are still going to be terrible.
They already are going to have to put the grass in for the 2026 World Cup. Just keep it there for the football season.
Nah, for real. They paying for it, so you might as well use the leftovers, dog. You know what I mean? If you don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, for sure. The Texans beat the Titans 26-0. CJ Stroud had 233 yards and 2 touchdowns. Woody Marks has 17 carries, 69 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins had 4 catches, 79 yards. In the words of Cam Ward, he said their team is ass. And it's right. I'm going over Cam Ward.
It's accurate. Yeah. I mean, they are a get right game right now, and the Texans need to get right game in the worst way. To say the least.
Did. And that's what this
more
was.
Woody Marks. Woody actually did well in pass protection, which they obviously did because the offensive line is terrible. And he carried the ball better than Nick Chubb did. So more Woody Marks. I'm also saying that because I have a Woody Marks share in fantasy.
Yeah, protect Cam Ward at all costs, man, because my man is getting beat up beat up bad. Like, you don't want a situation where he loses confidence or just gets beat up to a point where he turns into just, cauliflower. You know what I mean? That's the last thing you want, man, especially with a talent like his. So, I feel bad for him. As far as the Texans, though, I think they found something with Woody Marks and helping that running game. He looked really good. Hopefully that can help the balance with CJ Stroud playing the play action. I think he kind of needs that, especially with some of that inconsistent offensive line play. Maybe they can find a way to bounce back. You know what I mean? Obviously, hopefully they can maybe get Joe Mixon back within the next month or so. I don't know what that situation is until, but if you have the combination of Mixon and Marks, with everybody they have on the outside, it was good to see a Higgins sighting. He got a touchdown as well. So maybe they can have a bounce back. Like, this division, I think, is still up for grabs, even with, Jacksonville playing the way they are too. So
they did say Joe Mixon, they actually don't have a timetable for his return. And they said it's just not healing.
Well, that's not good. But Woody Marks look good. So we'll see how it looks the next couple of weeks with him.
Damian Pierce. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Washington Commanders 34-27. This is Michael Penix's best showing. They finally opened up that offense because they looked terrible against the Panthers the week before. Got goose-egged. But Michael Penix had 313 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 1 INT. Bijan Robinson had 75 yards, 17 carries and a touchdown. Jared had a touchdown. Drake London had his best game, 110, 8 catches and a touchdown. Bijan had another 106 yards on the ground and in the air, and touchdown. And then Kyle Pitts sighting. He had a touchdown and 70 yards to add to that. Commanders tried to fight back, but it just wasn't enough for Marcus Mariota, and they end up going down. They need Jaden Daniels to come back quick, fast, in a hurry. But this was a good get-right game, I guess, for Atlanta, maybe? I don't know.
I just saw Bobby Wagner trying to chase Bijan Robinson. I felt bad. It just didn't look great. I was like, oh, well, he's trying his hardest out there. But, yeah, Falcons threw the ball down the field, which was nice. They're weird, man. I don't know. They should compete with the Bucs, but they're still the Falcons, so I don't know. And also, obviously, losing to the Panthers looks even worse compared to considering what the Patriots did to them. So I don't know. I have no belief in the Falcons. I can't believe in them. I just can't. But when Penix is throwing the ball down the field, they can look like a really good offense.
They do.
Yeah, I agree with you, D-Mac. Like, I can't trust that Falcons team. I don't trust that coach. And then out of all the weeks I'm playing in fantasy, Drake London, out of all people, want to go off like that. This is why I'm over fantasy this year. I'm over it. And then all that money that the Commanders spend on this defense, and this defense is still terrible. Marshawn Lattimore is ass. I don't know what happened to him. He's washed.
Oh.
This defense is not good. This defense is not good. This looks like the same team that Jaden Daniels had last year. It just looks like better names are on that defense, but they're still bad.
Yeah, they can't get a pass rush to save their lives. So. The Buffalo Bills. I just got a question. Who made this damn schedule for the damn Buffalo Bills, man? Did Jim Kelly get in there and make the damn schedule? Thurman Thomas, like, what in the hell? 31.
The playing in the AFC East, man. You had 6 free wins a year for the Bills. I think they got the NFC South this year, which is another 4 free wins. Who else is I don't know who else they play in the AFC, but like, come on, man, it's easy for them. But shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure. They beat the Saints 31-19. It was looking a little shaky at first, but then it
was shaky through the first half.
It was shaky at first. Man, Josh Allen threw a pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't looking good at first, but they pulled it out at the end, and ultimately end up beating a bad team, and that's what Buffalo's good at, beating bad teams. They either beat bad teams or they lose. There's no in between. It's always like they always beat them real bad or they have a nail biter. So. But shout out to the Buffalo Bills. They're 4-0 and they're rolling.
I was told Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson don't throw picks, and that happened this weekend. So
I don't know, man. The Bills, like James Cook looked good. Obviously, I think this team looks a lot better when James Cook is actually given the ball. I'm for some reason I'm still not impressed with the Bills. It's just something about this team where, like, yeah, they're 4-0, but their biggest win was against the Ravens, and the Ravens, they're not the same team as what they were when they played them. They have a lot of injuries, and I know we're going to talk about them. Like that team is looking more depressing by the week, and more they're looking like kind of like who was the team last year that just was
49ers?
Yeah, they're to me they're like the Niners of this year, but we'll get to that more in that game. But as far as the Bills, I'm not impressed. I thought Spencer Rattler had a couple really good throws as far as like in that first half. Kendra Miller and Alvin Kamara, I like that 1-2 combo, but you know, it's the Saints, man. Like, you know what I mean? Offensive line is yeah, it's just not good. But you know, Bills won, they're 4-0, but I'm still not impressed.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Mal. I don't think that their defense is really good. I don't feel that way. I still think that they've got a very meh pass rush. I think that they're susceptible against the run. Their second level isn't anything special, in my opinion. They've got holes in the secondary. So I think the defense can be had. The offense is really good. And like you said, when they're running the ball with James Cook, they look great. Is offensive line going to continue to stay healthy? They were already missing their right tackle. Can they stay healthy enough in the same way that they did last year is going to be a question mark. They've got interesting weapons. I wouldn't say that they've got great ones. And then it's Josh Allen. So I think that the Bills are going to be in position which they're probably going to be the number one seed because they have such a soft schedule. But I think ultimately they're not going to go to the Super Bowl because by the time it comes to the playoffs, they're going to be matchups in which they get taken advantage of. So
the Bills need to make a trade. They need to either find a pass rush or add more weapons to the offense. Like one of the two. Do something. Get a cornerback. Get something. Like I think the Bills should be one of the teams that should be in the trade market. You know what I mean? Like I'm hearing a lot of names out there that could potentially be up for trade. So they should be one of those teams.
We shall see. I don't know the cap situation, so
yeah, I don't know the cap, but figure it out. Eagles do all the time.
Yeah, I know, right? Speaking of the Eagles beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-25. Jalen Hurts had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 62 yards on the ground. Saquon had 43. Shout out to my man AJ Brown, who had 7 yards. My man,
and the Bible quote after the game.
Yeah, we got the AJ Brown Bible quote. You know what I mean? You know he wasn't bad.
They winning, but he's depressed.
He's bad, bro. He over this. He like, bro, give me the ball, bro.
You gotta love you a deeper wide receiver. I tell you,
he knew that was coming. But you know, see, the Eagles try to play it though. You know, they gave him that great game the week before. Like, all right, man, we gave him his game. Maybe he'll be cool this week. Nah, nope. He got that little taste of crack. He need more of that. Like you cannot take a fiend off that quick, bro. He needs that.
I swear Jalen Hurts was throwing some damn balls, man. Just here.
Facts.
Damn, man. You want it here.
But honestly, though, with the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. It just gets proven every week, man. Like they can win in so many different variations. I know a lot of people keep want to talk about the tush push, but I think that's
the fake tush push they did.
Nah. There's so many different variations you can get out of that. So I think they're just toying with people at this point. As long as this team stays healthy, they should be one of the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl at the NFC and win the whole thing. Honestly, too.
I think they are. They are touring with people to the extent because you could tell that they could still turn it on and get to some different things on offense when needed. I know that they just beat this team, but I still believe that the Rams are a better team than them. And I know people are going to say the same thing about the Packers because they just had to tie up the Cowboys. But I think the Packers can beat them too. So, yes, they are.
You think
I do too.
I think the Packers are overrated, Doug. We're getting more and more of that every week. Like that offense is terrible, bro. Like Jordan Love is, he's up and down, 6'7", what the young kids do, and then and then those offensive pieces on that offensive side with those receivers are terrible. They're not good. Matthew Golden is a young receiver. Jaden Reed is hurt. Romeo Doubs is terrible. And Christian Watson has bad hamstrings. Like,
how's he terrible? My man put 3 touchdowns on that ass, and you don't call him
I'm not
terrible.
a fan of Romeo Doubs, dog. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not.
I'll save my thoughts for the Packers later. But I again, Eagles deserve to be Super Bowl favorites, though. There's no two ways about that. They still have a really good favorite on both sides of the ball. I do think that they do have weaknesses that can be taken advantage of. Specifically, a little bit on the interior offensive line. Their offense is very vanilla. And if they try and or they wait too long to try and change that, I think that's going to be a problem for them. And I think their defensive secondary has some holes too.
Yeah, for sure. Tampa Bay just need to get healthy.
They need to get healthy.
They need to get healthy for sure. Absolutely. They just got Wirfs back. They're waiting, hopefully, to get Eki back in a few weeks. So yeah, they need to get healthy.
The Detroit Lions put the beats on the the Cleveland Browns 34-10. Jared Goff didn't really have a great game at 160 yards and 2 touchdowns, but and Gibbs had 91 yards and a touchdown. Amon St. Brown had a couple touchdowns, but it's the Browns. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like that defense
like that.
I just was about to say you can't. That defense can't hold on 4 quarters without the offense doing something.
Yeah, and especially when the offense is going to give the ball away like Flacco did. Like, it's a bad combination.
Yeah, no, it's bad. The Detroit Lions, I think, are the team that could beat the Eagles. I think that's the true team that could beat the Eagles. Like they're talented across the board. I think we're seeing that. Like they can definitely match up well with the Eagles. I love the way this Lions team is looking, even against the Browns. They played really good against this defense. And as far as the Browns, man, like it's time to see what these young quarterbacks can do. Whether it's Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, see what's up, because you have 2 first-round picks next year to get a quarterback. Like, figure it out. Like, this is the year to finally figure out who should be your quarterback. You know what I mean? You got the whole Deshaun Watson situation out there, too. You know what I mean? He out there trying to throw the balls, acting like he about to put on a jersey anytime soon. He not.
They're not going to let him.
Don't waste your time. They ain't letting him. No. I can't see him getting another job in the league. I personally can't, but that's just me.
He got his money, though.
He did get his money.
Man, he got a baddie too. He got a baddie on him too.
Yeah.
On him. Shout out. Stay out them, spas, man.
The New England Patriots beat the Panthers 42-13. Drake May, he had a solid day, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. We got a Stephon Diggs site. My man announced he had a baby. He said, I got to put some work in. You know what I'm saying? 6 catches, 101 yards, and he had no touchdowns. Hunter Henry had the touchdown. Man, this Panthers team is just, I don't know what to make of the Panthers. They're just not good.
They traded 3 first-round picks and DJ Moore for Bryce Young, and Bryce Young is a bust, and they have an awful roster. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad.
Ted McMillan's look like they only good.
Yeah, but he ain't got a quarterback that can take advantage of him.
They don't even try to throw him the ball. Sometimes. Like, I don't know, man. You know me. I've been trying to hold out with Bryce Young. I've been a big fan of this young kid coming out of Alabama, but it's looking more and more like he just. It's like kind of like with Kyle Murray with me. It's just, I just think they're just too small. And with the Patriots, I think they got a solid team. Drake May had a good performance, but nothing great. He's like one of those medium kind of quarterbacks, or he's just like in the middle of the pack. Like, he could have great games where he looks like a top 10 quarterback, and then other games where he looks like he's like in the bottom. So, we'll see.
Jacksonville Jaguars beat the San Francisco 49ers 26-21. Trevor Lawrence had 174 yards and a touchdown. This game was all about Travis Etienne. He had 124 yards on 19 carries and a touchdown. Brock Purdy, he had some costly interceptions, 2 of them, but he had 309 yards in the air. Christian McCaffrey had 92 yards and a touchdown in the air, catching the ball. Look, man, this Jaguars team is not impressive to me. Trevor Lawrence is not good to me. I don't think he's a good quarterback whatsoever. Yeah, he has some traits, whatever, but he's not consistent enough for me to be.
No, that's fair. He's not consistent enough. I don't blame you for that take. And I know obviously we're both Chiefs fans here. I think Jaguars are going to be a very interesting test next week. I do think that they're a solid team. I think that they have a good defense. They have an excellent edge rusher in Josh Hines-Allen. They got some secondary guys that are physical, and they play an interesting brand of football. And then they also, on the offensive side of the ball, they like to run the ball very well. Obviously, we saw what Etienne, what he did to that defense for the 49ers. Mm-hmm. And they, can get some easy stuff and athletes in space with the way that Liam Cohen designs the offense. So I think they're going to be a very interesting control group, for the Chiefs to say, how good are you really on both sides of the ball?
Nah, I think the most entertaining thing to me was Mr. Duval confronting Robert Saleh. I thought that was
fun.
Amazing.
Yeah. I thought that was amazing. Out your mouth.
Yeah, I like that. I like that energy, man. Mr. Duval, I think his team loves that too. Like, yo, man, you ain't gonna play with my name. Like, put some respect on it. So I like that. I think the Jaguars are talented, especially on that offensive side. I think they're very talented. It all comes down to Trevor Lawrence to me, but I'm excited to see Travis Etienne be back who he was. You still got Basul Tootin. He's really good. I know a lot of people aren't too happy with Brian Thomas, especially if you're a fantasy owner. Not really looking good right now because they're spreading the ball around. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but we need to start having a real conversation about Brock Purdy and why they gave this man $50 million. Like, however much money. That was like, it really makes the 49ers look dumb to me because we all knew what Brock Purdy was going to be. He was elevated by the talent around him. He wasn't perfect.
I will say this. Man, to have he might be washed conversation about Trent Williams.
He is washed.
He's old, man. What do you expect, man? He's
it happens.
Hall of Famer, but I'm just saying.
It's time for him to hang it up. Yeah.
It happens to 35-plus-year-old tackles that aren't named Lane Johnson. That's just the reality of the situation. He's washed, and it is what it is. So,
no, I agree.
And I think that's a big piece of why, the Brock Purdy thing doesn't look as good because it's, they don't have offensive line talent outside of Trent Williams. So
right.
It's a big piece of what they want to do.
Yeah, for sure. The Rams beat the Colts 27-20. Shout out to AD Mitchell for messing up my parlay. I appreciate you, brother.
Main reason why they lost.
Man, fumbled the football right before he gets in the end zone. Didn't he have like a holding penalty or something like that?
I don't know.
And my man Matthew Stafford hit Tutu Atwell for a game-winning touchdown, sealed the deal, and Daniel Jones threw a game-sealing interception at the end to send the Rams with a 3-1 record, and the Colts finally getting their first loss. Hey, man, the Rams are good, man. Devontae Adams, he's back to being Devontae Adams. Puka Nacua might be the best wide receiver right now in the league right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Matthew Stafford's playing pretty good. I don't think this says anything about the Colts. I think the Colts are actually a pretty good team. Now, do I want to put stock in Daniel Jones right now? I don't know. I think I see some more of Daniel Jones. But I do think they have a good team around him. I think his receivers are very talented. Jonathan Taylor is one of the better backs in this league. And I think that defense, Lou Amaral, he's one of the better defensive coordinators. Cincinnati looks stupid right now. And you give him some talent to work with, you see what happens. So I don't think the Colts, I think the Colts still can, challenge for that division if they want to. So, but the Rams are going to be right there at the NFC. I think they're still going to win that division. I don't think Seattle may have something to say about it, maybe, but I think the Rams are going to win that division.
Yeah, Colts deserve to be the favorite in the AFC South. I think they are a good team from that perspective as well. I did an entire video over on DMW Sports today on my Monday morning quarterback series about the Rams in that game specifically. I think that they were my pick to come out of the NFC as long as Matthew Stafford is healthy, and obviously he looks healthy and looks playing very well. That defensive line is hellacious to try and go up against. That just doesn't look fun to play against.
First knocked a grown man off his head. He threw.
Yeah. They had it was like a 77% rushing success rate with Kyron Williams, so they can run the ball. Obviously, those two weapons are exceptional in the way in which they can attack a secondary. So I think they've got every element they need to come out of NFC, and I think it's really more so about them being NFC contenders and the Colts being a good team than like the Colts got exposed or anything like that.
No, I agree with y'all. Like, I think the main thing with the Rams is just trying to keep Matthew Stafford upright. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially with that bad back. Like, if they keep him upright, this team, I agree with D-Mac, they can easily make it to the Super Bowl. They're definitely one of the teams that should definitely be talked about or winning the whole thing. As far as the Colts, I think they're good. They could have easily won this game with AD Mitchell. Dumb mistake. I think he's a good receiver, but it was a dumb mistake. You know what I mean? I don't think he was trying to do anything crazy. I think he was just trying to switch hands and he just kind of like fumbled it. I don't think he was trying to like celebrate crazy like what we seen, like, Deshaun Jackson and all that stuff like that. But it was a bad mistake. I think it cost him the game. But the Colts are really good. That defense is very opportunistic. We see it. The turnovers that they cause, the running game that they have. Daniel Jones has been solid, and then that's all you can really ask for with him is just don't turn the ball over, be consistent, make accurate passes, and this team can compete with anybody as you saw with the Rams.
I'm sorry for this, Maul, but the Chicago Bears beat the Raiders 25-24. Geno Smith, he was giving out gifts like it was Christmas. like 3 interceptions that were just egregious. He gave this game away. And it still even came down to a Daniel Carlson. Y'all still could have won the game. So, shout out to Ben Johnson for trying to put Judy Batista at halftime. Like, my girl said, "You need changes." So you think I need some changes? He was trying to punk her, but she wasn't having that. But shout out to the Bears. They got a win, and y'all should have won that game.
Bears, but look, let me say this. Bears look terrible. They didn't look good at all. This was a Geno Smith Thanksgiving because he gave up everything. Like, you needed it, he gave it to you. Like, Geno Smith is terrible. Get him off my team. For some reason, the moment anybody puts on a Raider jersey, they forget how to play football and coach football. We need to have a real conversation about Pete Carroll. We need to have a real conversation about Geno Smith, and we need to have a real conversation about this offensive line. I think our defense played as best as it could for the young talent that we have and the holes that we do have on this team. Max Crosby looked like Max Crosby as usual. There's nothing left to be said. Brian Clark, shut up about Ashton Genty. It's never been Ashton Genty's problem. He's a great back. He's going to be an all-time great back. We see the explosion. We see the power. We see the cutability. Like, he can read, all that. It's just our offensive line is terrible. There was many occasions during that game. By the time Ashton Genty got the ball, there were three Bears defensive linemen in the backfield trying to tackle. And we all know how the Bears defensive line is not that great. It's not like they're putting a lot of pressure on against these teams. The Bears are not a good team. I like Caleb Williams. I think he'll be cool. I don't think he'll be like this all-time like transcendent quarterback, like everybody was trying to compare him as like the next Patrick Mahomes. He's not that. He has a great arm. He needs talent around him.
Some throws yesterday.
He has some throws. Like, he's cool. But you know what I mean? But like, you know, they gotta stop, trying to compare him to Patrick Mahomes. He's not Patrick Mahomes. No one's gonna be.
They should stop comparing anybody to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just different levels. That's like, somebody trying to compare somebody to Tom Brady, or like, let's just let people be who they are supposed to be. Patrick Mahomes is a one-off talent. Like, that is enough said, and that I'm already sick enough by saying that. Like, no disrespect to y'all, but I'm tired of this. I'm tired of seeing that funky ass red and yellow. I'm tired of y'all clapping and cheering. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of my team being ass. I'm tired of going through this whole situation where we're going to be this decent team, but then by Halloween, I'm already over the season. I'm ready for my Lakers to start playing. I'm already ready because this team is terrible. My Raiders suck. Let's just start losing these games, man, and get a high draft pick, man. That's how I feel right now. Because Geno Smith is terrible. He's not. Yeah. I know he never was going to be the future, but he looks like the Jets Geno at this point in his back.
Yeah, there might be something to what you said about putting on that Raiders uniform, because these are the two worst games that I've seen Geno Smith play since he was on the Jets. Like, he has not looked at this the same way that he did in Seattle. I don't know what happened, but it has been ugly to say the least. But Luka Doncic's MVP campaign starts soon, so that's a good thing.
Oh, brother, trust me, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for my Lakers to start. Trust me, because they're like, I was supposed to go to the game yesterday. I'm not wasting a cent on the Raiders. I'm not doing it. I'm not
and them
wasting.
Tickets are expensive.
They're expensive.
They're expensive.
You know what I mean? I will even waste nosebleeds. I'm not even wasting a parking fee for this team because
you got free tickets.
No, I'm good. Well, I'll go. Free, I'm going begrudgingly, and I'm gonna be hella faded by the time the game starts because I already know what I'm about to witness. Pete Carroll it's time to hang it up. Pete Carroll's too old to coach. Too cold. He's too old, and it just seems like some of the decision making that is going on is the same thing we've been having problems with for the last couple of years. I don't even think it's a Tom Brady thing. I just think it's just some of the decision making as far as like the offensive line, some of the play calling, bad mismanagement with play calling and clock management. We look like a team that's not ran well. It's okay and it's cute for you to play like Tupac and all that during the goddamn practice squad. But besides that, we look like the same old terrible Raiders, man.
I heard y'all was looking for me.
Man, you late, bro.
Come on. Let me tell you something.
Do you not have a clock? Do you wear a watch?
We gonna say who was late. I was right on time.
Do you wear a watch?
Old man Rogers. I was right on time. Y'all see it right?
We already talked about him.
Talked about that, bro. You're 30 minutes too late.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I'm glad y'all talked about it. Now I need y'all to remember this. Go take the Steelers to win the Super Bowl.
Oh my
Everything is yours.
Come on, dog. We're not doing this
It's
already.
all jokes now.
We're not doing
all
this
jokes
already.
now. The old man Rogers hoist that choice. Hoist
Come
that
on, dog.
trophy. Yeah.
Oh man,
I know y'all was looking for me. And them Raiders, well, they giving the city a bad look right now. Don't you say nothing. It's ugly right now. Yeah. Okay. But I'm glad y'all invited me. You know, I had to pop in real quick just so y'all can see that ain't nothing changed. I'm still here. Showtime in them Pittsburgh Killers. Yeah.
No, before you go, I'm gonna say this, my brother. It's good seeing you. I
Yeah.
hope you're doing well. I hope your family's doing well. And y'all not winning the Super Bowl, bro.
Old man Rogers done already told y'all what it is.
Old man Rogers about to be
Hoist that Super
he
Bowl
about to be
trophy
doing an
for everybody.
ayahuasca retreat by January, brother. He gonna be in the
He's
Brazil.
sleeping in the dark room in the hotel.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know if y'all know, but y'all seen old man Rogers take off for about 20 yards yesterday.
Oh.
That you coming back.
Wow.
That you coming back. Y'all seen it.
All right, man. All right, man.
Steelers are going to be a great wild card, Rexit. It's going to be.
Did
Great
he say
season.
wild card?
Yeah, I did say wild card.
Did he say wild card?
Great wild card.
Who's gonna
Actually.
beat us in our
Where
division?
you at? Like a TGI Fridays or something? Where are you at?
No, I'm at the casino, man. Y'all already know what.
Brother,
Staying on.
brother, go back to what you were doing, brother.
Man, come on. I
Congratulations
know
on
y'all
your funky win.
Man, come
But
on.
y'all ain't winning
You know,
nothing, bro.
As a matter of fact, I think our record better than everybody on this phone. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm looking
It
around.
is.
For now.
Yeah,
For now,
yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It
don't
is.
forget,
my
right
brother,
here. You see that?
it's we about to.
Now, I'm still eating off for Christmas Day last year, Showtime.
Matter of fact, I
I'm still
think
eating off of that.
if y'all all team up, y'all still probably don't got more wins than the Pittsburgh Killers, right? Don't forget.
Yo, be
We
happy now. Talk now because we all know by November, y'all ain't gonna be talked about, man. So it's
Wow,
Hey,
that's
Chris,
crazy. I
Chris,
think y'all.
what was
y'all
what was the
quarterback
last
got more
game of Ben
interceptions.
Roethlisberger's career again?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that
Yeah,
was?
it's
Chris?
ugly right now. It's ugly.
You putting all
He
your
got
faith in
37
Aaron Rodgers.
interceptions. He got more interceptions than passing yards. It's ugly right now.
My brother, you putting all your faith in Aaron Rodgers says enough for me. And
What?
there's
Hey,
nothing.
old man Rogers gonna be MVP this season. You heard
Oh,
it here first. You heard it here first. Old man
All
Rogers.
right, so thanks for coming in for the 200 episode. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Glad you're doing well.
It's good to see y'all, man.
Blessings,
Good to see you,
blessings, my brother.
Showtime.
All right.
I want to apologize to the public that had to watch that nonsense. That we don't condone that. We don't condone that.
He
You
is
know,
bugged out.
my man needs sports therapy, bro. They're not winning nothing.
But I commend his love for his Steelers. I commend
Nah, for sure.
All right, let's talk about it. Chiefs beat the Baltimore Ravens 37-20. After the first 15 scripted from the Baltimore Ravens, it went all downhill for them. Spags, he just has Lamar Jackson's number. He can't do nothing with him. And they were sending that blitz. Shout out to Nick Bolton, man. He had one of his better games. Leo Chenal, this defensive line was giving them hell. Our corners was on them like glue. And then Patrick Mahomes, the offense, Xavier Worthy came back, opened up the offense for us. Look, all we ask is Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, go for it. Just go for it. They was under center. They was doing what they needed to do, and this was the best of offense. You know, according to Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, shout out to Chuck. Matt Nagy called the plays. Shout out to Chuck. But this was our best look that we've looked in a long time. It looked like the boys was having fun out there. Hopefully they can take this for the rest of the season. I know that everybody's trying to give the Baltimore Ravens a bell and their defense, blah, blah, blah. The defense was bad when they had all them players on there. So we just picking the carcass off of them. So it's not looking good for Baltimore this year. I don't know. Maybe they patch it up towards the end of the season, but it's not looking good right now. We might have to have a conversation about John Harbaugh and Zach Orr. Zach Orr might be the sacrificial lamb. He might be the first one to go, and then Munkin, and then it might be John Harbaugh at the end of the season. You might read something where they part ways and try to find something else, because they got to figure out this, man. Because you know Lamar Jackson and them, they can't keep doing this, man. This fan base, they got a rabid fan base that's crashing out on Spaces every week, and it's not looking good for Baltimore. But shout out to the Chiefs, man. They showed
Shout out to the Chiefs. We handled business. This is a bad defense. I a little bit more under center, which was nice to see, as you said. They got some guys running downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes was on it from the start. They knew how to take advantage of the Ravens' defense. Offensive line was excellent. I mean, those bets that we've made, especially on the left side of that line with young guys, have paid off. That was the type of performance that this team really needed. The vibes were high, obviously getting Xavier Worthy back and everything. Defense, Spags has Lamar Jackson's number. He knows exactly what to do with them on a consistent basis. That will frustrate him with extra guys adding on, simulated pressures. Leo Chanel made an incredible interception. It was spectacular. Good game all around. Dominant game on both sides. Lamar Jackson, people are going to talk about the hamstring. I don't know what it was, but I'll say this. I've seen Patrick Mahomes fight and claw and with everything in his might to try and get back in the game, and it looked like Lamar Jackson was good with whatever the outcome was at that point. And so, and I still love Lamar Jackson as a player, but the reality situation is he said it a few years ago, the Chiefs are his kryptonite, and that's just the reality situation. So good job by the Chiefs. Good game, and now we try and make the adjustments necessary to be ready for the Jaguars that, again, I think are going to be an interesting test for us on both sides of the ball.
I agree.
Man, I'm so tired of talking about y'all, man. Like
they thought we were dead.
Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say y'all are back to being world beaters. I'm not gonna say that. I think the Ravens are just too injury. I think that defense is just gone. Lamar having the hamstring injury, Derrick Henry having the fumble problems, even though he didn't have that. I think y'all be all right. Like, obviously with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, I think y'all always will be a respectable team. I think y'all always will be there at the end. I don't know, man. I got to see a little bit more with y'all. I really do, especially with that running game. Obviously, y'all going to get Rashee Rice back. We got to see how long it takes him to get accustomed back into getting his rhythm again and within this offense. I don't trust the health of Xavier Worthy. Me personally, I don't trust the running game. I think y'all still have problems on that old line. I think that defense can still get got a little bit here and there. But overall, I thought it was an impressive performance. We'll see these next couple weeks. I think y'all got the Jags. I think the Lions are coming up. So we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. But yeah, I'm tired of talking about y'all. I'm tired of y'all winning. I'm tired of it, honestly. But congratulations to y'all.
All right. And then, of course, Sunday Night Football. You had the Dallas Cowboys and the Packers giving us our first tie of the season, 40-40. This went into overtime. I have to say this. This is probably Dak Prescott's best game I've seen in a long time. Like, in a long, long time. Like, and this wasn't like padding stats type Dak Prescott where he's down by 40, and then he has, like, you look up and he's got like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns because he had to pad the stats. No, it was actually he was out there battling. We might have to talk about this Packer defense a little bit, but I just think Dallas offense is pretty damn good. Like, I think their defense is terrible, but their offense is pretty damn good. They're gonna be in every game because they're gonna be able to score. But this might have more reflection on the Packers defense than anything, and we got to talk about because Michael Parsons, other than that sack, he wasn't really a factor in this game. So, but it was a good game nevertheless. Sad that it ended on a tie, but it is what it is.
Yeah, the Packers were without 3 offensive linemen, so I think that contributed to them being a little bit up and down as far as the offense was concerned early on. Mm-hmm. I think they got a lot of B's as far as that weapon group was concerned. Dobbs had a good game. I think Golden is continuing to try and get better. I think Kraft is really good. Josh Jacobs is very good as well. And I think Matt LaFleur's a great play caller. I think last week was about them coming up against a really good Browns defense, in my opinion. The defense, man, that was a poor performance. And Dak Prescott was on a heater, and I don't want to just chalk it up to that. But man, you expected to have a better showing from that Packers defense, and honestly, Michael Parsons as well, as far as this game was concerned. Yeah. I'm not ringing the alarm bell. I still believe in them as a team, obviously, as I said earlier. But there are things that I want to see specifically this next month because they got kind of an up and down mid-level schedule before they face the Eagles in Week 9. That I'm going to be watching to see how they perform on a consistent basis because they got to level some stuff out for me to feel great about them. But yeah, it's funny. And all the discourse about, a tie game and all that, everybody freaking out because of the overtime rules, et cetera, et cetera. Just blame Josh Allen. Just blame Josh Allen and you'll be fine.
I think we got to show love to George Pickens and Javonte Williams, the resurgence of those guys. They had a big involvement in this game, where obviously with the loss of CeeDee Lamb, having a guy like George Pickens turning into be your number one, we know he has the talent to do that. So I think him and Dak Prescott finding that rapport, I think is really huge. I agree with y'all. I thought the most disappointing thing was this Green Bay Packers defense, especially the addition of Michael Parsons. We expected a better performance from that. But overall, we know who both of these teams are. I think they're both pretty much the same team, me personally. I think the Packers probably are a little bit better. This is just me personally. I know you guys may disagree with me, but from what I've seen with the inconsistencies from the offense and defense, yeah, the names may look a lot better on that Packers side. And yeah, you guys took out Rashawn Gary and Michael Parsons, but I've still seen a lot of inconsistencies with that team where, look, we saw it on the field. They tied. They're pretty much saying the field talks, my guys. The field talks. And that was a tie game. That was a close game. Cowboys could have easily won that game. Obviously, you do expect better from the Packers, but what has this team shown you that they are true Super Bowl contenders besides the names on the back of that jersey? Nothing. Not to me.
I understand it from that perspective as far as what they show, and I don't know. Maybe I'm have too much belief in the ceiling of this team, but I do think by the time that we get to January football, we'll be looking at them as one of the guys that contend for the NFC, alongside the Lions and Rams and Eagles for them.
We'll see. I just don't have no faith in Jordan Love and his offensive side. I don't.
That's fair. I mean, he is a guy that he's a big game hunter, and that comes with downsides because the consistency of the offense really has to lean on the run game a little bit more so, because he's going out there and he is trying to go bombs away every single time.
We got to remember this head coach for the Green Bay Packers is fighting for his job. If you don't believe it, look at all those beat reporters around that team. They've said the same thing. So
I don't think the floor is going anywhere.
Listen to the beat reporters. They're literally telling you he's fighting for his job right now, dog. Listen to the beat reporters. Believe what you want. They're literally telling you that this organization could fire him if he does not produce with this team this year. I'm telling y'all. All right.
I forgot to talk about this Thursday night game. Seattle beat the Cardinals 23-20. It was a little rough for the Cardinals in the beginning, but they got it together in the second half. Marvin Harrison, he had a tough drop. Then he had another catch. He got a touchdown. You could tell he had a breath of sigh when he got that touchdown. Like, look, Jesus, thank you. I caught it. So, and Kyler Murray, he stringed together a couple drives, but the kicker lost him the game. He didn't get in the strike zone, and they got to the 40, and Seattle won with a field goal. So, shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold looks like he's solid. I ain't sitting there and say he's world beat, but he looks solid. When you put some weapons around, dude, you give him a good offensive line and a good running game. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback in this league. You know what I'm saying? So I give him that. I'm not sitting there saying Seattle's going to be a Super Bowl. I do think they got pieces on there. JSN is an ascending player in this league, and he looks really good. Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp. You know what I'm saying? He's a good number 2. Their running game, like I said, with Walker and Charbonnet, I think they have a solid running game. And their defense, they got some pieces on their defense too. They just got to put it all together. But I still got to see a little bit more from Seattle for me to take them really, really serious. And the Cardinals, you know how I feel about the Cardinals, man. I'm done with Kyler.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cardinals are just, it's not good. Hey, shout out to Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm so glad that he caught that touchdown. You could tell he literally legitimately almost emotionally moved at the fact that he was able to catch the ball. So shout out to him. I didn't want it because it was looking rough, obviously, after those drops. So I'm glad that he was able to get that touchdown. But yeah, I mean, Seattle, McDonald has those guys on defense flying around as I expected. He did a similar thing with the Ravens where the first year was a little bit up and down. The second year got significantly better. They're using Byron Murphy a little bit better than they did his rookie year, in my personal opinion. So them being a good team isn't surprising to me. Sam Darnold has been solid, and you know, I don't have any reason to say it's not going to continue, I suppose. So I have to tip my hat for that. And the NFC West is very fascinating. Obviously, the Cardinals are now 2-2, but 49ers with no more Bosa and all the injuries that they're already dealing with. And I still think the Rams are the class of the division, but it seems like it's going to be a dogfight. And I think we get Niners Rams or Niners. I think it's Niners Rams for this upcoming Thursday night. So that's going to be fun too. So it's going to be an interesting division to watch. And obviously Seattle is going to be expected to stick around in the thick of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Obviously with Seattle, you love the talent that they do have. Obviously, Sam Darnold has shown a lot, especially, a lot of people were questioning him and how he would perform without Kevin O'Connell, the coach for the Vikings. So I think he's performed pretty well. I think this running game has surprised me a little bit more because Chris knows how I feel about this running game. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, especially health-wise purposes. Like, you see the talent, but they just never stay healthy enough for me. JSN looks amazing. I'm surprised Cooper Kupp doesn't get involved more in this offense. Like, I know he's dealt with some injuries and stuff like that, but I thought he would be a little bit more involved. But overall, I think they're a decent team. I think they will compete for this division. I don't know if they're gonna be as the heights as what we think the Rams could be, but I think they will compete. As far as the Cardinals, though, I've always tried to be a big believer in Kyler Murray, but I'm kind of done with that whole situation right now. I agree with you, D-Mac. It was good to see Marvin Harrison be who we all think he can be. It seemed like I don't know if he's going through something personally or something like that, where a lot of stuff has, been in his head, where he's been dropping these balls that he should catch. Like, we've seen the talent at Ohio State. He should be a lot better. But it was really good to see him actually perform. But this Cardinals team they are who they are. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, for sure. All right. That does it for our rundown. I mean, right now, as we expected, the Broncos are beating the Bengals 21-3. That's no surprise to me. And then the Dolphins end up pulling it out over the Jets 27-21. Two bad teams.
Yeah, praise out to Tyreek. I saw that injury. That was bad. That was bad. That was nasty. So praise out to him.
Get well soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Darren Waller is alive, by the way.
He caught TD. He caught TD.
Had some really nice catches during this game. Shout out to Darren Waller, man.
I wonder what he finished with. What did he finish with?
I think he caught 2, actually.
I mean, he was
three for 27, 2 TDs.
Yeah. I mean, it was never a question.
They're gonna need him.
Yeah, it was never a question of his talent. He's never gonna stay healthy.
Yeah,
he was get hurt.
Motivation was
that too.
Yeah,
he dropped the bag too.
Yeah, he dropped the Kelsey Plum bag. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go ahead and end it on a good note. Flowers of the week. I don't know if you know what that means, D-Mac, but we give our flowers of the week for somebody that we feel like deserves it.
Okay. Interesting. I will say flowers of the week. I will take it somewhere that obviously might be a little bit off the beaten path. Sydney McLaughlin. Laverne, I want to make sure that I have the full name. Awesome showing at the World Championships. For those that do not know, she's the current world record holder in the 400-meter hurdles, but she has transitioned and also started to do the regular 400-meter race as well. And she set the U.S. record. I think it was the 5th best time all time overall, and it's a world record now for the World Championships specifically as far as events are concerned. Awesome athlete, incredible story in the way in which she's been able to transition her career. She just dominated the 400-meter hurdles to the point where it's not even close. And so now she's taking her championship ability to the 400 event, and she's doing great. So wanted to give her a shout out. She's a Jersey product. So there's my flowers of the week.
So what you got, Mom?
Mine is pretty easy, man. I want to give flowers to everybody who has supported the show, friends, family, fellow people who do other podcasts, brothers like D-Mac and the rest of the guys who have supported this show, Trey, Maestro, all those guys who came on the show, even Show with his ignorance that he wants to pop in every now and then and say his wild stuff, man. Ebony, who couldn't be here, Miss Ballin D, everybody who's contributed to the show, who watches the show, who liked it, disliked it, whatever the case may be. I definitely want to give flowers to everybody, man, because me and Chris, man, we try to to do the best we can with this show. It's been an amazing ride with these 200 episodes. I want to give flowers to my brother Chris. He does a lot of stuff on the back end for sure. Definitely want to show him some love for sure. And this is just a start. This is just beginning. And man, I appreciate everybody who contributed for us to make this happen.
Yeah, I'm going to say them same sentiments to all the people who supported us, liked us, shared it, left a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. We appreciate you, man. Shout out to like you said, D Mac for coming on the show, Miss Ballin, D, Ebony Show, Trey, Maestro, everybody who was a guest on this show, who's ever came on this show or was in the comment section. Mark, he always comes in and says his piece. Shout out to him too. We appreciate y'all, man, because this is why we do it, man, to give y'all entertainment, give our thoughts, our opinion. Even if y'all agree with it, disagree with it, we're going to give our opinions, man, because at the end of the day, it's just all about conversation about sports and, other topics that we talk about on this show. So shout out to y'all. But to get on Maul's nerves, my other flowers go to Patrick Mahomes. 250 touchdowns, youngest player, quarterback to ever do it. Yeah, had to do it, Maul. How you feel? How do you feel about that, sir?
Whatever. Congrats to him, man. I don't know what you want me to say about that, dog. You know what I mean? For right now, you about to get a hell no. Real quick. You know what I mean? So,
cut the flowers off.
I'm trying to keep the positive vibes, man. You know what I mean? So
hey, I will say this: 200 episodes is an incredible accomplishment. It's a great consistency from you guys, and obviously, you guys have a great product, and that's why I was incredibly happy and honored, honestly, when Chris asked me to come on, to say the least. Man, definitely love supporting you guys. You guys do a great job and always entertaining. So, congratulations for 200, man. It's an awesome accomplishment.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
So,
all right. Who gets your hell no of the week?
No, shit, at this point, you. You know what I mean? You try to test my nerves with this Patrick Mahomes Chiefs stuff, man. Like, come on, man. But no, on the real, my hell no goes to Geno Smith. It has to go to Geno, bro. It has to go to Geno at this point, bro. Like, I'm over Geno. I'm over Pete Carroll too. I'm over his son coaching O-line. Yeah, I'm over it all. So yeah, those people get my hell no's for this week. They know why.
My hell no of the week is Bruce Pearl handing down the Auburn job to his son. Man, it was a snitch in college basketball, and the opinions that he has since, expounded is just annoying to say the least. So, retired. Couldn't have got out the game faster. Glad, good riddance. Hope I don't have to hear about you. And I'm sure your son will be fired soon because he doesn't deserve to have the job. So my hell no is to Bruce Pearl.
My hell no goes to Eddie Mitchell for running my ticket, man. You know what I'm saying? You messed me out of money, dog. What you doing, dog? What are you doing? I had money right in my hands, and you dropped it. So you get hell no of the week. You're a professional football player. You getting hell no of the week.
That's fair. Not mad at it.
Here you go.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ass on.
And that does it for the hell no segment. Hey, you got anything else, fellas?
Nah, man. Appreciate D-Mac for taking the time out, man, for coming on the show, man. We definitely appreciate you, my brother, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, appreciate you guys for having me on and asking me on. Again, congratulations on 200 once again. Big number.
Yeah, for sure, D, man. You got to come on the show again, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Be a friend of the show, family of the show.
Absolutely. Family of the show. Absolutely. Excited to come back on.
All right, for sure, D. All right, brother. 200 episodes. We did it.
200 episodes down. We got a lot more coming. It's been a great ride, man, so far, man. You know what I mean? Made a lot of memories, a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of long nights, a lot of early mornings, you know what I mean? But it's been a great ride, man. And I can't wait to, continue, keep doing this, man, for real. So
I don't know if you want to do, because I ain't want to, have a gap with all our guests just watching us make picks. Do you want to do the better surefire picks now?
No, we don't have to do it. Bet knows. Shout out to Bet though. Yeah. Shout out to Bet though. We'll be back on it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will say this: MLB playoffs, man, looks interesting.
What you looking at? What you talking about?
I'm really. I think the Red Sox might beat the Yankees, man. I really like that.
Do you?
I do for some reason. For some reason, I just like that series. What other series do they have? I think the Detroit Tigers. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're about to play the Guardians again. I don't know about that. Padres and Cubs.
I like the Padres.
I like the Padres too. And then I like the Dodgers over the Reds.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What you like?
I agree. Dodgers over the Reds. I like Yankees. They've been so up and down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
wouldn't be surprised if they lose to the Red Sox.
yeah,
And yeah, I'm with you with the Detroit Tigers. You talking about a team that just came in there limping into the playoffs. It's just crazy because they were one of the better teams this year. So
yeah.
it's just it's looking kind of crazy for them right now. So, but hopefully they can get that momentum back and beat Cleveland in the series. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And even though they didn't make the playoffs, at least they had a little bit of pride. Shout out to my Royals, man. They had a little pride at the end. They above 500. My man Bobby Wood Jr. had the most hits this year.
Shout out to all the Mets homies, man. Y'all going through it rough right now.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
going through rough right now.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah.
All right, man. If you want to, actually, we'll do this. If you look at the screen, you'll see our QR code for our WWE shop. If you are into WWE, you want to get your latest merch from your favorite superstars, whether it be Roman Reigns or Jey Uso or Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, all your superstars, Cody Rhodes out there too, Seth freaking Rollins, whoever your flavor is, scan that QR code and go ahead and get your latest merch. And whatever, if you want to donate to our Cash App, you can donate to $ Chris Maul Podcast. We will appreciate whatever you donate to us. And whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon Radio, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, we are available. First time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesday nights at 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you could jump in the live with us. You could talk about these topics. We want to hear from you. Whether you agree with us, disagree with us, we want to hear your opinion. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Kick, whatever you use, we are available at Crystal and Mall. We will follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and whatever other topics is out there, we don't talk about it. So go ahead and follow us. If you have critiques or feedback, or if you have a question or topic that you want us to bring up on the show and we like said topic or question, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up, get DM emails or our mentions. Mm-hmm. All right, good people. Like I said, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us for 200 episodes. This is for another thousands of more episodes. We'll be back to get to 300. That's the next goal, 300 episodes. So we're just gonna keep building and building, and hopefully by 300, maybe we'll be in the studio. You never,
hopefully.
You know what I'm saying? Never know. But until then, appreciate y'all, and we will be back. We'll see you on Wednesday. But
I was low key gonna ask you, like, maybe we should. No, what? Let's just say it now. We'll see y'all next Monday. We're gonna take the rest of the week off. Yeah. Enjoy this 200 episode, man. Try to relax, man. And then we'll be back. We'll be back on the grind. Maybe we'll see you Monday. We'll see.
All right, y'all. Until then, we are out.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.